What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Bringing It to the Ring podcast with myself, Willie Wolf. It has been a quite some time since you guys have seen us on the podcast channel. We have been very busy with our schedules, but we decided to make time to record another episode for you guys. A lot has happened since we have last did an episode, from the Royal Rumble to releases to 2K. Now we're on the road to the Chamber and ultimately WrestleMania. It has been crazy across the board when it comes to pro wrestling as of the last few weeks. So, what do you guys think? What are you guys' excitement so far for WrestleMania? Are you guys a high? Are you low? Are you in the middle? I want to get your thoughts and opinions on that. So we're gonna start off with a rating. So Willie, so far right now, what we're being presented on WWE television, what is your rating so far for your overall excitement level for WrestleMania this year?
On a scale of 1 to 10?
Yes, on a scale from 1 to 10.
2.
Oh wow, 2.
2.
Okay,
Not
Wow.
excited. No.
I can understand where you're coming from because I feel like
Actually,
what WrestleMania they promote it very well, right? They're supposed to promote it well because it's like the Super Bowl of WWE, and you're supposed to have a lot going into it. But right now, a lot of everything is up in the air right now, so I can
Right.
see why you do have a low rating
Yeah, does
for
make sense,
overall
actually.
excitement. Especially with the matches that we probably are going to be getting at this year's WrestleMania. We can only speculate, but Wolf, what is your overall level of excitement
It's
for this year?
yeah. When you put it that way, Leo, I kind of is my reason because like I think that is a huge issue that WWE is having right now, building up to WrestleMania. They have like teased like 3-4 matches with like one person, and like it is not possible
Yeah.
to really understand what is actually going to happen. Like for example, AJ Styles, they've teased like with a little bit
Yeah,
with
they
Logan
teased
Paul.
no
They
more.
teased with Breaker. They teased with Dominic, and I'm like, do you have the plan, or are you just like throwing
I
everything
feel
at the
like
wall and
I don't
seeing
know
what
what it
sticks?
is. And it goes back to one of the videos I've seen with Willie, and you were talking about how Triple H's booking is. I feel like what Triple H is doing, he's putting different stars interacting with different stars and seeing how the crowd reception is to these different, moments. And I feel like he kind of plays off of that.
I
Because I even
understand.
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
it seems like. He's
it
not
does
really
seem
like
like
putting it
that,
together.
but the problem with that is you start to confuse the
The
crowd
fans,
and
yeah.
the fans, and like people will not understand what is going
Because
on, especially not casual viewers. They're gonna be
yeah,
like,
I'll
"What
be
is going
honest.
on?"
I'll be honest. Like even watching last night and going back to what you said with AJ, like I'm trying to figure out what are they gonna do. I've been hearing rumors between him and Logan Paul. That was gonna be a good match. They're
Yeah,
teasing him and Braun Breaker. They're teasing
yeah,
him and Dominic. Potentially, maybe even AJ and Finn if he gets involved with this whole Judgment
yeah,
Day versus AJ shenanigans.
yeah.
So that's 4 stories that we're doing with
Right.
AJ. So it's like, which one are they going to choose?
Yeah. So
That's
I guess I would say like a 4, I guess.
I'm gonna
Because
mean
at the moment that it will probably turn into like a 7 or 8 once we
easily
get more
turn
matches.
into a 7 or 8.
Um,
Right now, it's a 3 for me. I'm at a
yeah.
3. Like
So
I don't know. Something's have to change. Something's gonna have to
yeah,
change.
they
Especially
My
need to.
thing is
we're
it's
9 weeks
like
away.
Yeah,
9 weeks.
they had like a lot of planning in place, it seemed, when the road
yeah,
to WrestleMania started. And then the Royal Rumble happened,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything started going more and more into the shitter. If you catch
Yeah.
my
I
drift.
don't think so because what's it called? Apparently, they had already planned Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble long
It was
before.
months in
Right.
advance. I do
Yeah,
know that. I
like
did hear that
way
it was months in
before they
advance.
even considered Saturday night main event match. Like that
Mm-hmm.
that was the plan, Jey Uso. But and choosing Gunther, but that to me it just tells me like why did we do the match at Saturday Night Main Event?
That's the
Like,
thing, and this is
begin
why
with,
I
like,
agree with.
you just have Jay win the Rumble, choose Gunther. That's it. Like,
That's all you had to do.
You didn't need that. Like, you could have replaced Jay and Gunther with like
You could have did
anyone
Finn
else.
Balor 1-on-1 because he was supposed. I feel like they should have just did that 1-on-1 match, but they decided to give us Damian Priest in there because they were feuding. You could have just did Finn Balor getting this 1-on-1 opportunity.
You could have had Nakamura defend the title.
Yeah, you could have. You really, it's like you could have, or you could have made an opportunity to add maybe the Women's Intercontinental Championship because Lyra Valkyria has not defended that belt yet since winning it.
I'm pretty sure
that's
gonna
a shame.
defend it like
It's a
next
shame,
week or the week after.
Chelsea Green has been champion since December. She's had like at least 3+ defenses, even though they're all against the same woman.
Somewhere around
but
there.
still. But
Yeah,
this is a good way to
defenses.
segue into the Royal Rumble because we started off with the Women's Royal Rumble, and honestly, the Women's Royal Rumble, I don't know. The two people, I would even say three, that really stuck out to me wasn't even the winner, but the Iron Women, so to speak, of the match. You had Io come out at 1, you had Liv come out at 2, and I think Roxanne came out at 3.
Number 3, yeah.
They were like your standouts of the Royal Rumble, if you want to be honest.
Right.
From start to finish.
The Women's Rumble, I think there was a little bit of sloppiness, but that's kind of
here and there,
expected. Yeah. Like there's going to be some parts like they're gonna be hiding in the corner while the cameras like focus on someone else. Roxanne, I honestly did not expect Roxanne to be final 2.
I knew she was going to be in it, but I thought the whole story with Roxanne was supposed to be Bayley, making sure that Bayley didn't win the Rumble. I think that should have been her story, but I think it just showed you that WWE has big plans for Roxanne and being a big star. I think she's going to be a big star in the WWE, and I do think she's probably going to end up on the Monday Night Raw brand because I think that's where Bayley's going to be, and honestly, it kind of makes sense.
Well, if they want to like really serve us and really go crazy, what's it called? Have Roxanne win the Chamber, the face Rhea at WrestleMania, straight up. I mean,
if you want to talk about swerve, that is a ultimate.
I mean, Rhea would retain, but at least Roxanne it would be clear that Roxanne's
the one spot in the Women's Rumble that I didn't like is it happened right after Nia Jax came out, right? And you had most of your favorites to win for a lot of people, whether it was Io, whether it was Bianca or Liv, all of them were literally in the same spot.
Right.
And all Nia Jax did was run towards them, and all of them are gone.
Right.
Yeah, that was.
I wasn't even thinking of that. Wow.
The air out of the crowd because it's like a lot of the people who would have made the Final Four more intriguing were eliminated. So it's like as soon as Charlotte came out there, it's like everybody knew.
And now you had your Final Four be Charlotte, Roxanne, Nia, and
Nikki.
Nikki
Bella. And people thought I hate
Nikki. All people, Nikki Bella.
Here's what they should have did though, Wolf. What they should have did is literally switch places with Nikki Bella and Alexa. Have Alexa be the 30th entrant, and then you could have just had Nikki Bella be the 21st entrant
of the night.
Because if you want to be honest, she had the biggest pop anyway.
Return, because Alexa's return, that was the biggest pop of the night, easily.
Oh, easily. The entire night.
Like
and then
the whole
people were happy to see her back. I think a lot of people were happy to see her back
because Alexa was back. Nikki Bella was such a waste of a spot.
I was thinking when I was thinking 30, right? I'm thinking it was going to be Becky. I'm thinking it's going to be maybe a Jade Cargill. Or even AJ Lee, even out of left field.
Apparently Jade is
AJ Lee. Like the people need to stop talking about AJ Lee coming back. All right.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen.
I've been telling people this.
No. At this point, they're waiting for us to forget, and once we forget, then they will give us.
I don't even know because here's the thing, and I can go see where Willie's coming from. if it hasn't happened by this point, I don't think we're gonna get it.
I feel like it's because everyone is expecting AJ Lee. They're like, no,
People
no,
have
no,
been
no.
expecting it since she left in 2015.
Basically, ever since she left, every single time around Royal Rumble season, it's like AJ Lee's gonna be number 30. AJ Lee's gonna come back.
And when
guys.
she doesn't,
AJ
people are
Lee."
literally irate and going on Twitter.
No,
and
but in
complaining
all
about it.
I've
seriousness,
seen a
it's-
bunch of like TikTok reactions, especially to the part where Nikki Bella came out at number 30. Oh my god, it's gonna be AJ. Oh no, it's Nikki Bella. And then they all act surprised. Dude.
Bro, I would have taken anybody. But you could have literally just gave it to
Should've been
Alexa,
that.
or you could have just gave it to Becky,
Yeah, or
or
Alexa
returning Jade
should've been.
Cargill.
Should have gave it to Jade. Like, where the fuck was she?
Well,
Jade's
apparently,
apparently injured.
but I
like
did
actually
hear,
injured.
I did look into some
But
reports.
where is Becky?
She is. I did see that. For Jade, she is at the Performance Center training, so that
Yeah,
gives
so
us an
she's
indication that her
recovered.
return is very near.
Yeah.
So I think she's still gonna be in the plan for WrestleMania.
I think they're
do
going to do
think-
Bianca and Jade.
And Jade,
WrestleMania.
or maybe you do Jade and Naomi, right? As the first stop,
but
because I think both of them are both Naomi and Bianca are in cahoots with each other, and then maybe like Jade goes through Naomi first, then she goes to face Bianca at WrestleMania. So
Yeah,
it's like
but
a roguelike
Jade
thing.
and Naomi seems a lot like Elimination Chamber, like WrestleMania
Yeah.
SmackDown
Right.
style match.
Yeah.
Because Naomi and Jade Cargill does not scream WrestleMania as
Yeah.
much as
No,
Bianca.
I feel like if
Bianca and
Naomi's
Jade,
gonna do
no.
anything at WrestleMania, I feel like if one of these women's mid-card titles are gonna be defended in a multi-woman match, and if that's gonna be the case, you put Naomi in one of those matches.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be for the US title, which I think is more likely, you can put her and Alexa both in there, and you have two big stars who can easily win that belt and pretty much elevate that title even more.
For sure.
Because SmackDown's like US title division is better than the Intercontinental Championship division on Raw for the women because they have nobody. The only person
that's
they
why
built up
Lyra
is-
Valkyria was in an Elimination Chamber qualifying.
and her feud is going to be with Ivy Nile. No one
Yay.
cares.
Yeah,
cares.
like jobber made, like
And
Yeah, and the
here's
Creed
thing.
brothers with their stupid DQ finish.
that was
Oh,
that
had
was
a
the only
God.
stupid
title
part.
opportunity.
That
We're
was
gonna get to Raw.
literally the only stupid part of Raw.
We're gonna
I'm
get
sorry.
to Raw in just a little bit. Like
I was so pissed about
I
that.
was
I was
like,
like,
what's the
bro.
point of having it be a match? What was the point?
And
I
then I
don't-
saw like Pat McAfee be like, "Oh, it wasn't about winning the titles. It was about making a statement. You could make a statement by winning the title."
Yeah,
Hey,
pretty
Willie,
much.
if you wanted to actually make this a feud, you could have had Viking Raiders compete against someone else, and you could have still had the Creed brothers come in and cost them the match.
Exactly.
You could have just
pivoting to
had
that
Creed's
feud.
one dirty, like straight up. Like you didn't need the ref to.
The match was
see
good
it.
until the ending.
It was
Yeah,
very
like
good.
the ref didn't need to see it. They could hit with the titles, win dirty, and then like have Raiders try getting it back. Like it's
Yeah.
okay to hop
Next
the
And then
week.
table
also
a little
with
bit.
the women, at least also with the women's Rumble, we got the newly signed Jordan Grace, who Wolf, you have brought it to my attention. She
Yes.
will be on NXT.
She will start on
I
NXT.
honestly, I will say she's main roster ready. She is very
is.
main roster ready, and I did see in a recent interview, I think it was on Chris Van Vliet, she talked about wrestlers she wants to work with, like a Rhea Ripley or a Bianca. And here's the thing, Willie, she brought up a name that me and you we just talked about, Ivy Nile. She wants to work with Ivy Nile.
Muscle mommies. That's why.
That's I
Literally
wouldn't be
why.
surprised. I would not be surprised if they put those two together and let them go after the tag titles just because of that.
That's what I thought. Like, remember last year's Royal Rumble when they had both Jordan Grace and Ivy Nile do like a suplex at the same time? I thought that was like, okay, when Jordan Grace goes to WWE, they're going to pair her up with Ivy Nile. That was what I thought.
And then this year you had her and Naomi hug, and Bianca was not having it. She was not having it. So a
How
lot
dare
of
you
people-
go to TNA?
Some people were literally saying, what if we're about to get Bianca and Jade versus Naomi and Jordan Grace, and that's the tag title match. I'm like,
No,
No,
I don't want to see that. I'm sorry.
no.
I don't
ain't
want
nobody
to see
trying
that.
to see that.
I'm sorry, don't. No. But then we get to the men's Royal Rumble, and I like the structure for the men's Rumble because you had like your upper card, and then you slowly transition to like your mid card, like upper close to the main event, and then like the third act, you had the biggest names come out, right? Easily, I still don't really fit too well with ISO Speed being in the Rumble, but it was funny seeing him get Spirit out of his shoes almost. But I feel like you could have gave that to someone else, like maybe a Randy Orton. You could have gave it to a Matt Cardona, who was literally there and was reportedly backstage. So you could have used him in the Rumble and maybe set up a potential feud with him going into WrestleMania, which I'm not mad at. But I'm pretty sure he's going to end up on SmackDown.
Here's one thing that I'm not really certain on the way things are going. I'm kind of hoping that they're doing Sammy versus Kevin at Chamber, because if they're pushing it off to Mania, Randy Orton will not be at WrestleMania.
No, and we're going to talk about that. I feel like what's going to happen is we're going to get Sammy and KO at the Chamber.
Yeah.
And I feel like we might get like some rough bump action probably. And then Randy Orton returns, costs KO the match. Sammy goes off and does his own thing. And then we can get Kevin and Randy at WrestleMania, because I do think that's the plan that they're going to go with. What does it mean for Sammy? Based on what I'm seeing, they're probably going to do, I don't want to see it, but this is strictly, I don't think it's going to happen at Mania, but it's going to probably be Sammy and Karrion Kross. Now, I think that match could be good, but it's the question is, are they going to really put that on WrestleMania, or they're going to actually make that the Raw after Mania, or they're going to make
Maybe
it
the Raw before.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the matches that are going to take place on those shows anyway are matches that would probably be in your kickoff from WrestleMania anyway. So
yeah, like don't get me wrong, I love Karrion Kross, but I don't think WWE, especially with the way that they treated their former partners, holy shit,
which we are
so dumb, so dumb.
Which I don't think they're that high on Karrion Kross to put him on WrestleMania.
They did it last year.
They did it last year
in
an ECW Fan Fest match. It's the only reason why they did that.
So dumb. Man. I feel like that match was only done just to make it up to Bobby, who missed WrestleMania.
Who missed WrestleMania 39? Yeah. I think that's the only thing why they did that. And then we get some big names coming in there. We got Joe Hendry coming out at number 15. We got number 16, the OTC Roman Reigns, and he gets speared by Braun Breaker. Please let me have these two face off at some point in the near future, because I feel like this match is going to be really good between these two. I really do.
That match would cook.
And you had Roman selling the spear like he literally was shocked that he's like, oh boy. And he literally gave the nod to like Braun Breaker just a little bit too, as you guys did see. And then we started to see John Cena come out. We seen CM Punk come out. We seen Rollins come out. And it's like, and we got AJ coming back with this OG theme. They didn't come back with the "you don't want none." I'm glad they didn't bring that back. I'm glad they brought back the OG theme, because it seems like right now the WWE talent are complaining that they don't like the theme songs, and it even continued last night.
I mean,
with the Logan Paul
warm
theme
feelings.
song.
It brings warm feelings into my heart.
It's weird because I'm pretty sure AJ has said he actually liked the theme, but I think now because like, oh, he's a babyface now, so he's just gonna have that "you don't want none" theme on like his back pocket whenever he is
heel. Turn heel or something.
Yeah,
probably. But then it's like, one of the things that I will say about the Rumble, it's like, yeah, we did get some big names. I just feel like they could have done a little bit more. And it seems like John Cena, he was just there and he wasn't really competing as much. And when I say that, is like when you had him and Punk and then you had Rollins in there, then they're just all looking at each other.
Just standing around.
They're just standing there, right? And then, we see Jey Uso come out a little bit before that, number 20. And then you have, I think the standoff with having, Roman, Cena, Rollins. I think that was really good. I really enjoyed that standoff. And another thing that people complained about with the Royal Rumble from both the women's side and the men is the fact that a lot of these people who came out, a lot of them didn't get a reaction. Is because of their theme song.
Finn Balor in particular.
Bro, I love Finn Balor, but why? Here's the thing, though, Willie. They had gave him that Judgment Day theme song, and also Raquel came out to the same thing, but Dominic came out to his own theme song, and the same thing goes for Liv.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
So
that's what I
You couldn't have
don't like at all.
You could have just let Finn Balor come out to his own theme.
Yeah.
Which is one of Def Rebel's like few bangers. Is Finn Balor's like solo Judgment Day theme.
Yeah. Even
I actually like that theme. I think it's called I Am Danger. It's a very good theme.
It's good, but it's easy safe to say that a lot of them are trash. They're garbage.
Especially that Judgment Day, that new Judgment Day theme.
Bro.
It sounds like a generic
the thing is, here's the thing. I am okay with the new Judgment Day theme, just not for Judgment Day.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could have gave it.
Not bad.
Honestly, you could have gave that to the New Day instead of whatever bullshit New Day theme.
Okay, no, I actually, I kind of like
the thing, and you made a great point. The theme is not bad. I'm not saying the theme is bad, but it's not. It doesn't fit the Judgment Day.
It doesn't fit the Judgment Day at all.
You could have literally just kept them with their theme song that they already had, and it goes back to saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like literally, you could have kept that and gave that to the New Day, like you said.
It was almost like a fuck you to Alter Bridge because Cope has Metalingus with Alter Bridge, and it's just like we're not paying Alter Bridge with two different companies, even though Alter Bridge should be rolling in the money. They're an amazing band.
Yeah.
To be fair, like they've kept the other side for a long time, and then I'm gonna miss
the other side memes, the other side interrupting memes.
I would not be surprised, and come 2K25, we don't have that theme song in there. And
I will cry if the other side is not in there.
Bro, I'm like, bro, no. But then, like, as we get through the men's, like, we have Rollins and Reigns staring off with each other. And I like how commentaries, brought this fact. This in the cities they were in, because they were in Indianapolis. It was the city where the Shield debuted. It was the place where the Shield broke up. It was the place where the Shield reunited. And now you have two former Shield brothers in arms going at each other. And we know both guys were going to do whatever it took to get like each other eliminated out of the match. We had Seth Rollins talking to Roman Reigns, saying, "You're not getting another WrestleMania match. You're not going for another title because I'm here. I'm going to stop you from getting that opportunity." But they did not. We're not thinking of CM Punk, who has history with both guys. And while they're on the rope trying to eliminate each other, out of nowhere, CM Punk eliminates both guys, which was a huge shock, right? But instead of CM Punk being aware of his surroundings, he takes his eye off the ball for Logan Paul to throw him over. And now we're down to the final three: Jey Uso, John Cena, and Logan Paul. Now, initially, I'm like, okay, Logan's not winning, so it's only going to be Jey Uso or John Cena.
I thought it was definitely Cena from there. I didn't think they were going to give it to Jey Uso.
Yeah.
But I now here's the thing. I don't mind Jey Uso winning because in the sense of they went with something different. Like a lot of times people complain about them always giving it to the bigger stars. How about giving it to somebody who hasn't been able to break through that glass ceiling just yet? And I think Jey Uso comes on a lot of people's list. The only thing is, if you're going to have him win the Rumble, and I even watched your video, Willie, where you talked about your thoughts and opinions, and I agree with where you're coming from. It's not that you have a problem with Jey Uso winning a Rumble because you think he would deserve it. It's just how they went about it was the wrong way. If you're going to have him go after the title and go after the championship, what was the point of having him compete a week prior to the Rumble and lose to Gunther, only to go the next week and win the Rumble to literally set up the championship match at WrestleMania. What was the point? You didn't have to do that.
That was the thing. It was like, I don't have a problem with Jey Uso per se, but it was like the Saturday night's main event.
I mean, in my opinion, Jey absolutely deserves it, and he does have a story with Gunther, but like, you didn't need the Saturday. Like, I'm sorry, at this point, Saturday night main event, nobody cares about it. No,
and that's the thing too. It's like since they did that, if Jey Uso does not win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, it's a fucking waste. Yeah. And that was why I had such a problem with it. It's like, not only because he needs to win now.
The way I see it, he is winning. Regardless, even if like they went crazy and swerved us by having him juice Cody, he's winning. Because of course he's winning. Jey is literally the most over in the company.
He is one of the most over. I will say that.
The most over.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Jey Uso, right?
Right.
They could have set the stage and had a shocking title change happen at Saturday Night Main Event. This would have changed the perception for the fans going into these shows that expect something to establish that, okay, this is a must-see show because the last time a world title changed hands at this show. So this gives more people to want to tune in, but they literally just go with just random matches that nobody, there's nothing going to happen. They go into these shows, there's nothing going to happen. And going back to what you said, Willie, if he doesn't win, that's going to be a huge blow because what was the point of doing this all along? And my only thing with Jey Uso winning, right, is I feel like it's going to be one of those situations where it is just the moment. The moment of him winning is going to be huge. But what is going to be the story after he wins the championship? Who are they going to have him compete against post WrestleMania that is going to keep up the leverage and the momentum, not only for him, but for that title reign as well, because he took it from Gunther. That is the story that they need to be telling right now. Because if they don't, people are going to turn on him and the championship because it's like, well, they had a match, but they didn't have follow-up.
I think they have plenty of people that they can use to fight Jey. So like Pete having like opponents isn't exactly the problem. Because like you have people like what's it called? I mean, I doubt they'll push him, but like technically you could do Balor. You could do Jey versus Balor. You could do once he comes back, Bronson Reed.
Yeah, you could.
What's it called? You could
do Ilya if he's gonna come back as a heel.
Yeah, you could have what's it called?
I was gonna say
maybe Punk even.
Maybe Rusev, because I know we'll get to AEW in just a minute, but like that's another person.
Okay, well, I'll say my thought. I'll say my thoughts when we get to that. But honestly, you could even have Jey Uso versus CM Punk.
That would be big. But we get to the final two, Cena and Jey. And it was 50-50 because people were saying Yeet, and they were chanting with Cena, and Cena was trying to go for the AA. Jey Uso evaded, kept himself in the ring, pushed John Cena out. Therefore, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble. And in the press conference, right, John Cena was coming off a little bit like a heel. He says, after all the hard work I put into this company, I deserve my flowers. And he entered himself in the Elimination Chamber, which he is heavily advertised for. Honestly, you want to be honest, he is pretty much the poster child for that show.
Yeah, he literally is. He's the only one on the poster.
And, you know, the Charlotte winning the women's, I was not a fan of. I get why Charlotte came back, and you want to reestablish her, like, oh, I'm back and I'm taking my spot back. But you could have used the chamber to her advantage, to where she has to work to get that opportunity. She does like anybody can win the Royal Rumble, right? All you have to do is survive and throw someone over in the end and be declared the winner. That's all you have to do. But in the
Pretty
Elimination
much.
Chamber, you have to go through a grueling, hard-fought match with 5 of the competitors who want the same destination as you. That would be a cool story for Charlotte accomplishing that. Charlotte winning the Rumble did nothing. It did not accomplish anything. It didn't build anybody else. You could have used the Royal Rumble to build someone else who has not been able to get to that level at that point. You could have gave it to an EO. You could have gave it to a Roxanne to pretty much catapult her to the moon. You could have gave it to a returning Alexa Bliss. You could have gave it to a Liv Morgan. Hell, I would even give it to a Nia Jax if you wanted to, but you chose to give it to Charlotte. Her winning doesn't do anything. It's not moving the needle for me. What do you guys think? Willie, what do you think? Do you think Charlotte was the right winner, or do you think it could have been someone else?
I feel like it was an obvious one with how they were advertising Charlotte
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. And I think it was reported for a long time that it was like, oh, the plan is
Charlotte,
Tiffany versus Charlotte. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really say I was mad at it, but I do agree that you could have gave it to somebody else. I just really hope Tiffany wins, to be quite honest.
I'm telling you now, bro, if they really have Charlotte beat Tiffany, that's going to damage Tiffany heavily coming out of WrestleMania. Because she is literally on the verge of becoming one of WWE's newest rising top stars. This can put her over the level and pretty much put her in that main event tier.
Right.
But losing to Charlotte will literally diminish everything that she's done to get her to this point.
I don't necessarily agree because I mean I know that we don't like to admit it, but Charlotte is a very good wrestler.
Definitely. She's a good wrestler, but
is easily one of the best in the entire company, like top 3, and
I don't want to see her win 15. That's all I want to know.
I'm gonna just say, well, the thing is, Leo, she's breaking the record. We know
she's gonna break it, but like, why are we rushing? Why are we rushing?
We all know WWE is allergic to giving Charlotte an actual like long range. They keep giving her these short range.
I really hope WWE knows what they're
honestly,
doing.
I would not be surprised if Charlotte wins at Mania, then I wouldn't be surprised because I would assume at like Backlash or whatever the pay-per-view after, Tiffany wins it back. And then like Tiffany like solidifies like stays as champion. It's not like they're gonna hot potato between Charlotte and Tiffany. No, it's just like
I don't really care for Charlotte win 15. I mean, we've seen it already.
I do think the better choice is having Tiffany win against Charlotte clean.
Because you gotta understand,
especially if you're trying to have Charlotte be the heel, apparently.
What was the point of having her come back as a face anyway? Nobody cared that she was coming back as a face.
Well, to be fair, you can't when you're out for a long time. You kind of can't be a heel, at least on.
Well, I mean, you could. They telegraphed it. She's the only woman that came out and got pyro. You telegraphed her winning.
Yeah, but like on the she's out for like almost like actually almost over a year. Like
that's not the problem. They could have made her a face. It's just how they went about it. You came out and telegraphed.
I mean, the Raw. What's it called? On the Raw, after Rumble, she basically was a heel.
She got booed out the building because fans saw right through what she was doing. They did not want Charlotte as a face.
I thought that was so funny. I missed you guys.
But nobody missed you.
And everybody was like, "Fuck you."
In my opinion, Charlotte is good as a face. I mean, obviously,
better as a heel just because I've been.
She is better as a heel. She's it's more natural for her.
And I just think the thing is,
I think she's more interesting as a face.
My biggest problem was this, right? When you had Charlotte out, right? This made WWE want to try to build up new stars. We've seen two like EO, Liv, and Nia all three of those women had like brilliant and stellar outstanding performances throughout 2024. And it's like you had all those three women work very hard for only Charlotte to come back within 15 minutes and reestablish herself as the top of the women's division.
Yeah.
It's like a big F you to all the women that you poured all this time and effort into, just for Charlotte to come back and be like, well, you had a good one. I'm back at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I would say, like, I would just strap the rocket to Tiffany, have her go over Charlotte.
And you got to think about it, though. If Charlotte wins, do you not realize how irate not only the fans would be in attendance, the social media alone is going to be in an uproar.
I
and
mean, to be honest,
after that SmackDown after Mania is going to be in an uproar too. They are going to go nuclear heat with Charlotte.
Yeah. And I
don't know if WWE can handle that.
I think they can. They easily can.
Literally, the Royal Rumble.
In fact, they see it as a good thing.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna get numbers, but did you guys see like the dislike ratio for Charlotte winning? It had like 4,000 likes and over 30,000 dislikes.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's crazy.
In my opinion, I think the way I see it is, I don't think it's a problem that Charlotte won the Rumble because like we all expected it, and we have the big money match. And it's actually a good big money match because last year, that big money match, I wanted to literally shoot myself. Let's not talk about that Raw main event, Rhea versus Becky, ever again. Do not ever consider that for a big four pay-per-view.
The one upside to Charlotte winning the Rumble, it's made, in the grand scheme of things, in the moment, that the Elimination Chamber could have been way more unpredictable because all the top stars that we did see in that Rumble and could have been in the chamber. Unfortunately, that is not the case because we did see Jordynne Grace will be going down to NXT for a little bit, and then she'll probably come up maybe post-Mania or maybe around SummerSlam or something like that.
I mean, I still think we have a good lineup for Chamber, both men and women.
Which we are going to talk about in just a little bit. So, we are going to segue into the releases that we did at post Royal Rumble. We're going to start off with the WWE side of things. We did see these names have been released from the company. Sonya Deville, and it already stated that her contract was not renewed, so she didn't get released. Just the WWE did not want to renew her contract. We got the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering, Blair Davenport, Cedric Alexander. The Good Brothers consist of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Isla Dawn, Giovanni Vinci, and Elektra Lopez was the last to be announced later in the weekend, I would say. Now, at first glance, a lot of these I look at had potential, right? But the WWE did not do anything with. And I think the WWE's reasoning is the fact that there are going to be making a lot of NXT call-ups this year, apparently. So they want to make room for them.
They're going to bleed.
Here's the problem.
NXT
the problem
dry.
is,
again,
I'm already looking at Blair Davenport, who had all the potential in the world to be a top star in the WWE. You look at the stuff that she did in Stardom. You look at the stuff she did on the Indies. Made herself a household name.
She was not ready.
NXT. Here's the thing. If the WWE do not have plans for an NXT call-up, leave them in NXT until you have something for them to do.
She was not even ready for main roster. She did not do enough in NXT. Nowhere near enough.
This is what grinds my gears. The WWE said they didn't have any plans for Blair Davenport when she got called up until mid-January, when they were planting seeds for her to join Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. That didn't come to fruition. So they said, you know what? You got to go.
That sounded so stupid, by the way.
That is so stupid. It was better off with Blair Davenport.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, it was way better for Davenport. They were already planning for Davenport to join Unholy Union. What happened with that?
Yeah, And another thing, get another hilarious thing. Apparently, before they decided on Nikki Bella being number 30, guess who was supposed to be number 30?
Was it Blair?
It was Blair Davenport.
Oh my god.
Oh, that crowd
What?
would have been. They're like,
And
what?
Davenport gave the spot to Nikki Bella. I'm like,
Bullshit.
and you chose Nikki Bella? You didn't choose Becky? Like Blair
You
giving
could
it
have
to
chose anybody. You could have chose Jade Cargill if you wanted to.
Yay.
Hey,
And
I would've popped-
Shotzi was supposed to be in there, and they gave her spot to
And they gave her
Trish
to
Stratus.
Alexa.
Or to
yeah.
Alexa, sorry.
Yeah.
Alexa.
Which is
And it's-
understandable. Like Shotzi,
and it's
I don't
understandable.
mind.
Shotzi,
but-
she's improving. I will say that from where she was a couple years ago, she is improving. But she would have not gotten a reaction if she was to come out there at 21. I'm just be honest.
True.
I'm gonna be really honest with y'all. I think this is now a pattern of WWE. You know me, and I always study these patterns. Basically, when NXT call-up season happens, all you need to do is look at who has not done enough in NXT, who is nowhere close to ready, and they will probably end up released.
Bro,
True.
I now on Kiana James's part, I do think she was not ready. She was not close to ready.
she should have stayed at NXT.
But to be fair, she currently is dealing with ACL tear.
Oh, that's not an
And
excuse.
the way that they kind of like were like introducing her, I feel like rather than releasing her, she's just going to end up being like the next Raw general manager or something.
I would not be surprised. But it's like you could have kept Blair Davenport in NXT and waited for that
Right.
NXT Women's North American title. She would have been a great candidate for that. She could have been a great addition for that
She
title
should have
scene
been
as a
NXT
whole.
Women's Champion. Like I would
She
say,
should've.
she should have beaten.
You could have,
Valkyria,
especially with
but-
them having this NXT or WWE and TNA partnership, let her go over there and mix it up with some women in TNA. Her and Masha Slamovich. Oh my god, I feel like that match would be so fire. I feel
The
they can
only
have a
people,
good match.
the only people in NXT right now who should be called up, are Roxanne, Trick, and Fraxio.
That's it.
Yep.
And then after that, you literally
And then
maybe have Oba
after
Femi down
Oba
the line.
loses the title, then
You could have
Oba
even
can-
brought up Ethan Page.
Yeah.
I think Ethan should.
But I
probably
think what
stay
they're
a
going to do
little
with
bit
Ethan
longer.
Page is, I think,
Ethan
based on
should
what we've been
get
seeing on
some more
TNA,
title.
we're
Yeah.
going to probably see Josh Alexander show up in TNA. I mean, not TNA, but NXT. And then the
Yeah.
North reform, and those are the guys that take the title.
I mean, right now, Alexander also saying like he wants to wrestle in the G1 Climax. So I don't know. Maybe he goes to New Japan instead.
That is a possibility. And going back to what we said with Karrion Kross earlier, his compadres in the Final Testament, AOP, bro, you literally brought them back a year ago, and a year later
They were brought
they're
back only for Cross. They were brought.
Bro,
It
you could've
was
literally-
confirmed. They only brought
Do
them
people
back
not
for Cross.
understand? Do not
So
people,
dumb.
do people does the WWE not understand just how good they were in NXT?
They were
Literally the most
great.
feared
I'm
tag
going
team.
to tell you right now, nobody gave Final Testament a chance.
No.
Like day one, people despised, like go away heat despised Final Testament. I was like, what is wrong with you people? Like you people, like I'm sorry, the David, I hate that I have to say this because keep in mind, I love Cross. I love
Yeah.
Karrion Kross. And AOP and all the. If Karrion Kross and Scarlett were also released, I would be like, I'm not surprised. I'm sorry, the WWE audience does not deserve Karrion Kross. He is arguably like top 5, not even probably more than that. Promo in the company. Promo game.
Yeah,
in the
and they
company,
only
easily.
resort to doing Karrion Kross promos on social media, which I
Bro.
think sucks.
What? No,
And
I
then-
mean,
Well,
That could've
besides
been a-
backstage,
And here's the thing: if we want to talk about how they were booked in NXT, if you would have gave them a chance, they could have been instant contenders to be the guys to take the titles currently right now off Viking Raiders if they were really given a chance.
right.
Because
Yeah,
who
easily.
realistically do Viking Raiders? Who are they going to lose to? right now.
Judgment Day.
New Day.
No, the only person that really makes sense right now is probably the New Day.
Yeah. New
I don't
Day,
think it's gonna
'cause
be
New
A-Town
Day is
Down
going
Under.
crazy.
It ain't gonna be them. It ain't gonna probably be the Creeds. It ain't gonna be
It's-
Alpha Academy.
Yeah. It's probably New Day because New Day's heat is like over
Exactly.
the roof right now.
So we have those. We have Cedric Alexander, and boy, oh boy, he had so much potential in the WWE. Like, if
Yeah.
you go
It's
back
weird
to
because
literally,
they literally just re-signed him.
he just resigned for one.
and
Triple
like
he's made it clear Triple H is a big fan of Cedric. Look at he literally signed him. He
Yeah.
signed him to the company in 2016 in that
right. I don't
amazing Cruiserweight Classic. He was a standout for sure.
He
If you
was.
want to be honest, I'll take it a step further. Go to WrestleMania 34. Mustafa Ali, Cedric Alexander. If you want to be honest, they had the best match on WrestleMania 34.
And it was on the kickoff show, which says something.
Exactly. And that said something. The fact that your best match was on the kickoff show when you had a lackluster to terrible card. I already said Cedric is going to probably go to AEW. He's going to probably end up joining the Hurt Syndicate.
A lot of
I
A
feel
lot
like
of
he's going
people
to.
from AEW are already
Wanna
saying,
push
yeah,
for
they're
some-
gonna try to.
I
They're
think
gonna
they're
try to
going to
make
get him.
attempts to sign him.
They're going to get him. But with Mustafa Ali signing to TNA, I would love to see Cedric go to TNA, man. Him
Right.
and Mustafa Ali tearing it up over there. And
Even them
over
being
the
a tag
X-Division.
team would be sick.
I mean,
For
it
the tag
depends on
titles-
Cedric, really. If Cedric is kind of a guy who holds a little bit of a grudge, then probably he's not going to go to the place where the literal CEO, the boss, insulted his wife.
Yeah.
Like
Because Tony Khan did
Khan
consult his
said-
wife, and I don't think
yeah.
he's going to let that go smoothly.
Yeah,
He
I
could go to
mean,
New
maybe
Japan.
he can. Maybe they can bury that hatchet or whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
Big Swole
He
can
could go to New
bury
Japan.
that hatchet. But I do think I wouldn't be surprised if he go. I think it would be fine. In fact, if he joins the Hurt Syndicate, because what's it called? Already they seem to be being pushed.
They're being
pretty
pushed. They're
hard.
already tag team champions. and
Already tag team
I'm just waiting for
champions.
Ricochet.
Shelton
That's all I'm waiting for.
is looking good.
I need Ricochet
So
to
I'm
join.
definitely interested. One
That's my big
thing.
question. Is
one
Ricochet
thing
going to join
about-
the Hurt Syndicate?
No, Ricochet's not going to join the Hurt Syndicate.
But
There's no way.
you want to be honest,
Maybe.
Ricochet is pretty much one of the best things on AEW, period.
The
point
one
blank, every
person
single
I
time.
am scared that they are going to try adding to the Hurt Syndicate, and I'm begging.
Mercedes?
No. That would
Max
actually be
Caster.
fine. Do not add Max Caster. to the
No.
Hurt Syndicate.
Oh,
Please,
Do
no.
not.
Bro,
Do
you want to talk
not.
about
I'm sorry,
ruining-
Caster should be fired. Literally,
Max Caster should
there are
be the
Should
next
be
round of releases.
very
Next round of
few
releases.
He's literally the Enzo Amore of E AEW.
There are very, very, very few wrestlers I do not like. I genuinely do not like. And it's not like, oh, heel thing. No, there are very few wrestlers that I just do not enjoy watching.
Yeah. And
Max Caster is probably I won't say the only one, but he is
then
my
Anthony
least
Bowens.
favorite.
They're gonna,
Anthony
I feel like
Bowens.
he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, Anthony Bowens should get a singles push.
Which I hope they do.
Speaking of AEW and the releases, or at least former releases of WWE, Fightful Select has learned that Elijah, aka or FKA Elias, is
He
not signed to AEW and ROH.
Yeah, he did show with the Righteous.
So
Which
people
was
are
kind of funny.
speculating that maybe he joined. I think Meltzer reported that he did sign with AEW.
You can't really
ROH.
trust like Dave Meltzer as much
Yeah,
as you can with Fightful.
like,
he didn't
Meltzer once
take his
again,
dementia
bro.
pills.
And then we got more releases. Sonya Deville, who was literally just at the Royal Rumble and competed in the Royal Rumble, So I guess PFC might not be no longer, or at least it's
Well, I
probably
think it
just
might
gonna
just be Zoe and Shayna.
Shayna, and that's it. Now, Sonya Deville has been there for quite some time, right? Everything that they gave her, like creative wise, she tried to make it work the best to her ability. What if it was her being an Absolution, her being the SmackDown GM, um, her being with Chelsea Green or doing this PFC stuff? Everything she's been given, she tried to make work to the best of her ability. And with her, having a former MMA background, right? I would have thought that she could potentially be a women's intercontinental or US whenever they did bring those titles in. I think she would have been made a great addition to that, but they just released her. Now, when she didn't get released, her contract ran out and the WWE just said, no, we're not going to renew it.
Yeah.
So she can
I mean,
she can
I'm
go
pretty
anywhere
sure
she
she
wants.
has like 2 more weeks maybe left or something. Like she's still.
I think she shows up to TNA.
Maybe.
really-
Yeah. I could see it.
Or MLW.
I did see one thing that I was like a little like scared because I was like, no, do not do this idea. There was like an article that I saw like randomly on my like Chrome, because sometimes on my Chrome I get like articles based on what I search, which a lot of it is wrestling. There was a literal like idea of Sonya Deville in the Death Riders. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Please.
No, she does not
Bro,
fit with them.
if she goes over there to AEW, if she's pretty much another enforcer for the Death Riders, bro,
I
I'm
don't
gonna turn
mind
television.
her in AEW, just not with the Death Riders. No.
Bro, what is she gonna do? She's gonna be with the Death Riders and be another person that
Death
takes the beating?
Riders. You have plenty of people. No, Death Riders.
It's already bad as it is, and it's not because of the talent; it's the booking.
Yeah.
They're booked like trash, and then we have to deal with John Moxley, who I'm a huge fan of, mind you, but his title reign is not doing it for me. And the fact that we're gonna have to deal with him, hold that title for probably another 5 months.
Not really hold the title. Marina Shafir holds that title.
He just walking around.
We don't even know it's the title. We don't know.
That's true.
No, you know what? Here's the thing, Willie. They got rid of the AEW World Championship. It's just the AEW World Championship briefcase at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the Money in the Bank briefcase. That's what he's holding.
So here's the main problem. So the thing is with the Death Riders, crazy enough, the way I see it, I kind of see it as like a necessary evil, because whether you guys like wanna like
the Reign of Terror.
No, like seriously. If you really look into it, their social media posts, their YouTube channel views, like the Death Riders and Rated FTR are like the most watched segments out of all AEW. That's including over Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is getting like a third of what the Death Riders are getting.
Mm-hmm. Even Will Ospreay, I think.
Yeah, even Will Ospreay. Like, so I think the thing is, the way I see it, Death Riders is just something that I can't believe I'm making this comparison, but it's the best I can do. It's the Bloodline. It's basically how we felt about the Bloodline after like a couple of years. It's
the Reign of Terror for right now. I feel like
a good 2-3 years. Like once we got into like that third-ish year of Roman's reign, and like
people started to turn.
Were like, like we tolerated the Usos because the Usos were there every week.
But when Solo came in,
yeah, like
I feel like people started to turn on.
But that is that is how we feel about the Death Riders, and I feel like
I wouldn't be surprised if they did this, because people started to turn on the Bloodline at WrestleMania 39 because people thought Cody was going to win. For some reason, I feel like AEW, at least how Tony Khan's booking is, he would do something petty where we do get Darby Allin and Mox at All In, and Mox still retains. That will literally be like
no. We already saw the depressed Darby Allin shot. Like no. We already went through WrestleMania 39. at Grand Slam where Moxley won.
Then we still got other releases. The Good Brothers. I thought they would have been able to be another hand in the tag team
Best
division.
just go
Kinda like
back to New
in the
Japan. That's the
roster.
only
Because
place
I
that
feel
you
like
can stay
how
in.
here's how I feel about it. How the Motor City Machine Guns are on SmackDown, they could have made Luke Gallows or at least the Good Brothers the same thing on Raw. Like they're veterans in the tag team division. They can help elevate the tag team division just because of their name value and how much of a good workers they are. You could have done that, or you could have paired them back up with AJ.
Yeah. The way I see it, just go back to New Japan.
Just go
That's
back
like
to New
the
Japan,
only-
or maybe send them to TNA. Maybe send them to
Yeah.
TNA.
Yeah, TNA and New Japan are the only places that know
No,
how to
not
book
even.
the Good Brothers. Because in AEW, they were just lackeys to the Elite.
Yeah.
In WWE, they were just lackeys to AJ. So just
And
bring them to
Michin.
New and
And, like,
Michin.
Yeah, I mean, in
Like, no.
TNA, I think they were booked too crazy.
Then-
Well,
The last three on the list, we got Isla Dawn, which was a shocking one for me.
Very
I,
shocking.
when I saw Isla Dawn, I was like, okay, we're probably gonna get Alba Fire for getting Isla Dawn, but no, we
Alba's
just got Isla
staying,
Dawn.
Alba's. I kind of understand it because I always found Alba more talented than Isla.
Isla Dawn is so underrated,
Isla,
bro.
Isla is underrated, but
If you look at some of her previous work, like she's
I understand
very
why
underrated.
they chose Alba over Isla because Alba
I
is
guess if
the
you
better
look at
wrestler.
the work that Alba or Kaylee Ray put in NXT
Yeah.
UK when she was the longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champion, I think she proved that she can be a really great worker. And I guess it's kind of what happened with the Riot Squad, right? Where it's that one person that the WWE is going to keep and they're going to get rid of the other ones and they're probably going to continue to keep them around and potentially push them. We've seen it with the Riot Squad, what they did with Liv. And I feel like the same thing's kind of going to happen with Alba Fire now here.
Yeah, because they
That's how
got
I
rid of
see it.
Blair Davenport and Isla Dawn now.
Then we get Giovanni Vinci. Now this one was right on the Raw. I feel like he was going to get released. They literally kicked him out of Imperium for no reason. And then
They
they sent him
buried
to
this
SmackDown.
man.
And he lost in what?
This is
he
the
lost in what?
ultimate burial.
He lost in
This
what,
is
5 seconds to Apollo Crews?
twice, mind you.
Yeah,
I'm
a lot of people
so
forget
mad.
that.
I'm
They did
so
it
mad.
twice.
I'm so mad. So
And it's like, and I
I'm
think-
going on a tangent right now.
And they said the
Please
whole
excuse
reason Giovanni Vinci got released is because he was flirting
Allegedly.
with Tiffany.
Allegedly.
Louis Kaiser
Allegedly.
wasn't happy
The
about
thing
that.
is, I
Now, if
kind of
that's
don't
really the
believe it
case-
because that thing. I'm sorry, you can't hide that like that well for that long. Like nobody is saying it. Vinci doesn't say anything. Tiffany doesn't say anything. Kaiser doesn't say anything. Like I understand Tiffany and Kaiser, they don't want to really talk about it, but like Vinci doesn't hint anything at it. Not even Gunther says anything. I'm sure Gunther would have known.
Oh yeah,
Based
one
on
of them
how
would have
like
spoke about it.
yeah, like it's stuff like this would get out by like someone that would know. Like they would at least hint at it. None of them even tried to like. None of them. And the weird thing is, nobody asked.
Nobody cared.
Which
Nobody
is
cared,
weird.
really.
I'm so mad. I'm like actually livid because, like, I'm sorry that disgusting booking decision, that disgusting decision of breaking up Imperium, that was the worst decision in Triple H's booking career. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like that was so dumb. That like. I'm on the verge of saying that was a Vince level booking decision. Like, what is wrong with you? And mind you, if it was like because apparently the official reason, the reason that like we know for certain or we should know for certain was they wanted to prop up Kaiser. They wanted to push Kaiser to a big time singles push.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see where Kaiser is now?
He's
Like,
pretty
with
much
Pete
almost
Dunne.
like pair with Pete Dunne.
I'm sorry, this is the absolute wrong direction for Ludwig Kaiser because right now he His in-ring, top tier. His
Yeah.
promo game, easily good. His like charisma and like outside
has
of
everything.
like other stuff, it's like competent. He's world champion level. He's easily world champion level. And now we're making him a jabroni. Like this is like my most. This is the one thing I hate the most about pro wrestling is when clearly talented wrestlers that are at a level that like people can see, like the top level, and they're brought to like the bottom. Like that.
Yeah.
That does not sit right with me. Like I understand you don't want him to like be in that world champion because you have a ship
You have
level
Gunther
because you
there,
have
yeah.
all these people, all these top names. I get it.
At least
Like,
make him a mid-card champion at the least.
make him a top contender for that mid card title. He is on a Shinsuke Nakamura and Solo Sikoa losing streak right now. He is losing to Sheamus of all people. This is the like third, fourth loss to Sheamus. Like I don't know. It's felt like the third, fourth loss to Sheamus. Like why? Why? Like the only he is only beaten like since the breakup of Imperium, he's only beaten Sheamus once, and that
Yeah,
was
the
because
rest he's
Pete
lost.
Dunne helped him, like clearly egregiously helped him. Like yes, that's a win, but it's like at this point, like I understand giving wins to Sheamus, but like at this point, like that last match they had, Kaiser should have beat Sheamus clean,
Mhm.
straight up. Like,
And if you wanted to do something
you
shocking,
also could have had like Pete Dunne screw Penta. You like, I'm sorry, Penta could have like lost if it was a 2v1 situation.
you could even going back to Survivor Series last year. If you wanted to do something shocking, you could have had, with it being a triple threat, you could have Ludwig Kaiser win the Intercontinental Championship, and then Sheamus would have had to chase Ludwig Kaiser for the title, which would have been fun.
It
You
You
could
could have
something
had
new.
Pete.
would've been
You could have had Pete
cool.
Dunne help Ludwig Kaiser win the belt.
It would have been great, but
And then
now it's like
Then the last release is Elektra Lopez was the last one that we did see.
What,
I thought she had
she
potential,
didn't
but
do
she
anything.
was
She
a
didn't do
manager.
she wasn't doing
anything.
anything. But when I did see her in NXT, when they kind of brought up Legato without her and she was still in NXT by herself, she was proving herself. She was
She
actually
was improving, yeah.
she was improving. And I felt like they could have kept her in there for another year or maybe two, then brought her up.
Like, she was a manager.
Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't really shock the
don't-
wrestling world like some of
yeah.
these other names like a Cedric or a Sonya Deville or Isla Dawn or Blair
Not that much
Davenport.
of a
Like,
big deal.
Another thing, sorry, I didn't talk about Vinci. Vinci is easily a good mid card talent.
he's going to TNA.
He
My
should
man
have
in
been
NXT was
a good
great.
mid card. Yeah, he should have been in that U.S. title division. The fact that they took 5 months to start, like teasing
these
his
vignettes.
debut on SmackDown, and then he debuts, gets squashed by Apollo Crews of all people twice,
Who's
and
now
then
injured.
goes to being a background character. It's like, what are we doing? Like, it's so. And now, like, another going back to Kaiser. Like, Kaiser, I'm sorry, the direction is completely wrong, and that's why I believe Ludwig Kaiser at the moment, he can bounce back. Yeah, anyone can bounce back after being buried, but
Yeah.
he is buried right now. He is. And
It's
if
up to the
things do
WWE.
not, and if things continue going the way they are going, I'm sorry, do not be. I would not be surprised, and I would suggest nobody should be surprised if the next release, a bunch of releases, or the couple next bunch of releases, Ludwig Kaiser is among them. Ludwig Kaiser will probably end
think
up released
it's a
if things keep going
possibility.
this way.
It's a possibility, but I think the only thing with that is with Tiffany being in the company and pretty much them
Oh.
positioning as a top star, they probably would only
Yeah,
keep him
like-
just to keep her happy.
Right. Maybe Tiffany can ball to keep Kaiser, but he'll be like
But
He'll
from
be a jobber regardless.
he'll be jabroni.
But-
He'll be like
but
in the position of Apollo Crews and Giovanni Vinci. Or
Yeah.
like-
But from WWE to AEW, we did see this take place yesterday. 3 big names, I would say, for me personally in the AEW.
They were big names.
Big names, yes. Aleister Black, who's now a free agent. Ricky Starks and Miro have all been let go from AEW. We can only speculate where they're going to go, but AEW dropped the ball on all three guys. Aleister Black came in and had the Rocket strapped to him upon impact. He literally feuded with Cody Rhodes, who was the poster child for AEW at that time. He beat him and then did nothing for a while, only to literally end up starting the House of Black. And I thought that would have been something cool.
The House of Black was good.
It was good. In my opinion, it's the most iconic heel faction in AEW.
Besides the Elite, yeah.
No, even more.
Well, the Elite
I would
were
say
not
even more iconic.
Not even
than
good
the
level
Elite.
heel, like not even a.
They were kind of like
faction.
go away type.
Like
heels.
no, Malachi, Buddy, and Brody. They weren't even go away level like heels. They were like, holy shit! They are going
awesome.
They are going to mess you up.
They like were a crucial part of AEW.
And when they turned them face, it's like
they were dominating, dude. And like, listen, Malachi out of all the three was the most consistently used, and I think it was because of the trios and the tag team. Because whether or not
Malachi, along with Buddy and Brody, like they were crucial to the trios division. They were always there. And I think Malachi might have wanted that because he liked Brody and Buddy and he wanted to work with them that much. And he also wanted to elevate Julia.
They brought in Julia later on.
They brought in Julia. They helped elevate Julia.
Which was a good thing. But then
so, I think Malachi wasn't that it wasn't really bad for Malachi in AEW.
No.
So I don't think it's
even though here's the thing though, Wolf, even when they turned them face, they would have been a good challengers currently right now for the Death Riders and their trios championship because they have no.
Yeah, I don't know why Death Riders are not.
Or the Hurt Syndicate, Kings of the Black Throne are an amazing tag team.
They are. I mean, Hounds of Hell are also a good tag team.
Hounds of Hell right now are great.
Yeah. I mean, Buddy and Brody were always like Buddy is a good wrestler, and Buddy
really good.
Buddy and Malachi, they were always good together. So honestly, I'm glad they didn't really like break them up or anything, and they just went with a new name. A great name, by the way. I love the name Hounds of Hell. I love it.
If anything, they're propping them up more. I mean, Buddy in a Continental Championship, like holy fuck. Who would have saw that
on the next show
Grand Slam
coming up, right?
Grand Slam, yeah.
I think that's gonna be a good match. Then we have Ricky Starks. Now Ricky Starks had all the potential in the world to really
finally.
He had the future of AEW, in my personal opinion, to be a future world champion. All he did, if you look back at it, he feuded with Cody Rhodes. He beat CM Punk for crying out loud
twice.
Yeah.
But all he's done is win the FTW championship and then win the tag titles. That's it.
Big Bill.
I don't know. It seems like things kind of went downhill since that tag team with Big Bill.
Seems like things went downhill when
I understand we're trying
Cody
to
Rhodes.
elevate Big Bill.
Him and MJF when they had that feud, when
MJF
first won world championship, when MJF first won the title, Ricky Starks confronted him and he cut the promo of a lifetime, and they still didn't do anything with them.
They had a very good match, one of the best AEW matches of that year, which was MJF's first title defense against
Ricky Starks. And that was at what?
Actually,
that was at Grand Slam.
No, I don't
Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Exactly. Winter is coming. And they still didn't do anything. Like they couldn't, even if he lost, didn't have a follow-up to keep the momentum going.
No, it was
but he said, you know what? He got tired, and then he started to get heat backstage because he wanted to support his friends, and WWE, like Jay Cargill and CM Punk and Tony Khan, wanted to be petty and not want to do anything. Like, come
But
on.
I think the real issue was pairing him up with Big Bill, especially since it didn't really go anywhere. I understand, like, and the thing is, Ricky wanted to elevate Big Bill. I hate that I have to admit this because you guys will probably call me crazy. Chris Jericho has elevated Big Bill better than Ricky Starks.
No, I could agree with that.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could
like
agree
the
with that.
learning,
And then-
like that was
And
elevated.
then I don't know what the contract status of
It
him
just didn't-
right now is. Like Alistair, like he's a free agent. I think the same thing can be said for Ricky as
Ricky,
well.
I heard that they are not under a no compete clause. Like they're free agents now.
I think
Okay,
right now
so-
Malachi and Ricky are free, but because it was like a kind of mutual agreement, and they like so Miro was kind of a release because he was not supposed to be done until like 2026.
2026, yeah.
Yeah, so
So
I
I
think
think
Miro might
realistically-
have the no compete clause, but Ricky and Malachi are free.
So with Malachi going, because I feel like he's gonna go back to WWE. I think he's gonna be on SmackDown because Zelina's over there. He's probably gonna show up to
Zelina.
SmackDown. He's probably gonna show up to SmackDown after Mania. I think that'd be the best time to bring him in.
I think SmackDown before. SmackDown
Ricky-
before, maybe.
I'd say he shows up at NXT Vengeance Day this weekend.
No, no.
Imagine
and
him
deliver.
showing up. Imagine him showing up potentially to be the guy to defeat Obafemi for that NXT title, or he goes after the North American title.
Here's one issue. Here is one little issue that regarding
the one-
Black.
Leading the faction, I don't know.
Like Ricky, I don't think Ricky's involved with that new faction. I think it's some of the WWE ID people. But regarding Malachi, there is one thing I'm a little scared of that they're kind of like possibly throwing little teases, and I'm like, do not do this.
Him
It's
being in
the-
the Judgment Day.
Please, no. Please, not this
But here's the thing.
Judgment
Now,
Day.
here's the thing.
Not
Now,
this
if he
Judgment
becomes
Day,
if he
please.
comes in and is the new leader of the Judgment Day, only thing I will be okay with is the fact that we're getting Aleister Black and Finn Balor at WrestleMania. That's it.
That would be
don't-
that would be good and all, but Malachi or Alistair being
I-
He's
I
a
think
dark
that's
type
Judgment Day would
character, so
fucking
I
suck.
get it. But like,
Alistair leading Dominic, Carlito,
Yeah.
Raquel Rodriguez, JD
And then
McDonough,
Liv
like
Morgan.
no.
No.
if this was like the
If
like, with
Malachi
with
were
the
to lead a
Damian-
new Judgment Day, if Malachi were to lead
also-
a new Judgment Day, it would be Karrion Kross, Damian Priest, Shayna Baszler, and let's say the Viking Raiders. That would be a Judgment Day that Malachi would lead.
and here's
not
another thing,
Not the
like,
street trash.
and we're already seeing like the dissension within the Judgment Day already, and I feel like they are teasing a new leader is for the simple fact that we seen it last night on Raw when they were talking about they
Not a new
mentioned
leader, but a
something
new
with-
member. They said a new member of the Judgment Day, like an equal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't think putting
Now, I will say
Malachi would be good.
Finn and Alistair will be good if we're getting that match.
Also, another thing, I kind of want him to come as Malachi. I want him. I find Malachi.
I just need that theme
appealing
song though.
than
Please
Alistair.
have him come with the Aleister Black theme song that he
Roots
that
of
he's known
all
for.
evil. I don't know.
Yes.
I think he'll get Def Rebel. I think he'd get Def Rebel. if
Oh,
he
probably
comes.
no. I could see him. They do the Naomi thing where they like bring him back with that original theme song, and then they maybe give him something new. But I think Malachi. I'm calling him Malachi because Malachi is a cooler name than Alistair. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Alistair.
I just don't want him involved with the Judgment. Oh, and apparently for Twitter rumors, mind you, Twitter rumors, so you can completely
Yeah.
disregard. I've heard like suggestions of Dom and Black versus Ray and Penta, and I'm like,
No.
hell
What
no.
the fuck?
And apparently Black would turn face after the match. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
That'd be pointless.
Don't do that.
Like, if
But-
they want to do Black versus Penta or Black versus Ray, sure. Like, you want to have Dom bring in Black and do Black versus Ray, sure. But don't.
Yeah, but transitioning from that, we're gonna come back to wrestling because we still got to talk about Raw and Elimination Chamber. We're gonna transition over to the gaming side because we do
Yay.
have WWE 2K25 coming out this year.
I do.
We did get the different editions that we are going to be getting, whether it's going to be the standard edition, the Deadman edition, and the Bloodline edition. Those are the 3 editions that we are getting this year.
I am going to share. Sorry, real quick.
Mhm.
Tonight on NXT, Rich Holland versus Tony D'Angelo in a steel cage match is main eventing.
And it's for the is it for the title or no?
North
It's for the
American
title.
It's for the
Probably
title.
going to get a title change, probably.
No, I think there's gonna be return or debut. I think Andre Chase is gonna come and cost Rich Holland.
Maybe.
Possibly. So we did see the different editions for the game that will be announced. The standard edition, which is the most basic version of the game, it's going to cost pretty much $60 or $70 if you guys have PS5 or Xbox Series X or S, and then pretty much $60 if you have like PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. You get it on the 14th of March, and pretty much all you get is you'll get the island mode if you do have the PS5 or Xbox Series X or S. If you do not, if you have last gen, you will not get it.
I'm so glad I got a Series S recently. I'm so glad I get to play the island.
I am going to tell for the PlayStation players. The standard edition is $70. The Deadman edition is $100, and the Bloodline edition is $130.
Yes. So for you guys that will be getting on PlayStation, that is the price you will be paying. You will also get included in the game for the all editions. You will get the Wyatt 6 for the most part. You get Uncle Howdy, Dexter Loomis, Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, and Eric Rowan included in the game. Once we get to the Deadman and Bloodline.
Oh, do you guys want to hear the Canadian prices?
What is it?
Oh, in Canada, the standard edition is $89.99, and the Deadman edition is $130.
Yeah.
And the Bloodline edition is $172.99.
That's highway robbery.
That's why I didn't.
I'm pretty sure it's Canadian money, right?
Canadian money.
But
yeah.
if you do, for you guys that love the video games and love 2K, if you do purchase the Deadman edition or the Bloodline edition, you will get it 7 days early. But each game will come with their own thing. So you will get the supercharger in the game. You will also get the DLC as well. There's 5 DLC packs that you're gonna get. Plus the My Faction stuff. If you guys are really into that, myself, I'm not really a big fan of My Faction. Get rid of it.
So the Deadman edition, you get
You get Brother Love as a manager. I do know that.
Yeah, you do get Brother Love as a manager. You get a usable urn, possibly as a weapon. You get Undertaker 90, 1990 it seems. You get Elite Undertaker, playable action figure Undertaker, and of course Undertaker 90 is also playable, but it's a My Faction Persona card that they get.
Yeah.
And you also get Undertaker 1995 mask for the Island cosmetic. And then the Bloodline edition, you'll get a Mega Superstar Mega Boost. You get the My Rise boost and 100K virtual currency, which is a currency for My Faction. You get The Rock Nation of Domination as a My Faction Persona card, which means playable Nation of Domination Rock. You get WrestleMania 41 pack, which is WrestleMania 41 Arena. A new playable superstar that is yet to be announced.
Which is probably going to be one of the DLCs.
WrestleMania main event number 1 and number 2 Persona cards to be announced. Who knows what that means? Maybe it's like those what's
those
it called?
You get the Superstar Mega Boost
attires for those superstars. So
like
maybe
Jey Uso and like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. So because
Yeah.
you'll get the superstar mega boost, and then you'll also get like some yeet merch and some
Yeah,
OTC
you
stuff as
get
Yeah,
well.
because
some
that's the
Island
thing with the
cosmetics.
Bloodline Edition. Bloodline Edition, you get a My Faction Persona card, which is a Mattel Elite Roman Reigns. My Faction Persona card is a Mattel Elite Series J Uso.
The
And
Mattel
Island-
Elite is the action figure playable characters.
Yeah, in case
So-
you guys
So,
don't know.
In
yeah,
case you
And
don't
that
know.
Island Cosmetics, PS5 only, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow, fuck you. Family Above All hoodie, OTC shirt, Yeet tank top, and Yeet sunglasses. As
Let
if
me
I
see.
need more Yeet in my shit involving wrestling.
Oh no, it's not just PS. It's only because what's it called? You're looking at the PS5. So what's it called? The Xbox, the Series XS is also gonna get. So
You'll
so
get
Well,
that
what-
too.
I can't wait for my character to be wearing Yeet sunglasses. I can't wait.
And then we're gonna
Yes,
get into
yes.
the modes and some of the other things that we are gonna be getting, like features. So we getting the island, which is something similar to the neighborhood. If you guys play NBA 2K, will pretty much for the first time in the franchise history step outside the ropes onto the island for PS5 and Xbox. It says Xbox Series X. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be on S as well.
Yeah,
in-
S as well. Yeah.
So it says, in this immersive WWE themed world, complete quests, take on challenges, compete in live events, and upgrade your customized my superstar through multiple storyline chapters. Fight to join the original tribal chief Roman Reigns at the head of the table. Then we have like the showcase, which will be going through the bloodline and the bloodline stories from multiple members. So you'll be getting that. If you guys get the bloodline edition, you can pretty much unlock everything and you don't have to play it. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's just a little cheat code. You get expanded gameplay. We'll be getting bloodline rules in 2K this year. We'll be getting
Wolf and I are gonna have so much fun in universe mode with that.
we'll be
shit.
having the you'll have if for you guys that watch NXT, we'll be getting the NXT Underground match introduced in the game. I really wish we got the Deadline match in there. If you guys know what I'm talking
the
about.
Iron Survivor, that would have been
Iron
really
Survivor.
good.
We
Wolf
should
and I
have
had to
gotten
make
that.
up a bullshit Iron Survivor.
Maybe they'll be able to like maybe there's
We
ways
got
that
chain
we can,
wrestling
like,
back.
custom
We got chain
Yay.
wrestling back. They also added a little bit more of a mini game, so there's like a little bit of angles that they're gonna add into the game to where it makes it a little
And
bit more
if
interesting.
you are someone that turns out to not enjoy the chain wrestling, you can't figure it out, it's too complicated for you, you can turn it off.
Exactly. You also get barricade diving. You can get on the barricade and jump off of it. I think that's a little cool concept.
That's
We
very
also got intergender matches for 2K this year. They made it very clear that we can have intergender Royal Rumble matches, intergender one-on-one matches, intergender Money in the Bank ladder matches as well,
Yeah.
which I'm looking forward to because now I can do some Royal Rumble content using men
Yeah.
and women.
And
I don't
they've
have to mod it
also
in.
upgraded some other matches. Special guest referee now works for almost every match except the one match that I know for certain it does not work with is the underground matches. There will be no special guest referee for underground matches. But that's okay because you don't need it.
Then
And we also got 300 plus playable characters in this
Yeah.
game.
and we've been seeing the ratings for some of these wrestlers. I was surprised that EO was at 86, 87 for 2K this year. I was surprised by
86.
that.
Yeah.
I think Raquel was at 85.
86.
criminal.
Raquel's also 86.
Bianca's a 95.
Jesus.
Liv is a 91.
Good.
Alexa is
guys-
83.
Yeah.
Bailey is 87. Brutus Creed is 77. Candice LeRae is 71.
Holy fuck! Why? Why? is she
Dragon
so
Lee
low?
is
Why can't
78.
Why can't it be a 71? Well, I'm about
Dragon
to.
Lee is 78, mind you. Dakota Kai is 82. Eric is 79. Ivar 81.
Well, because his singles work, it makes
yeah.
sense that he's
EO
higher.
keep in mind last week EO was an 89. Her loss to Liv actually dropped her 3 points.
But she
Wow.
she won last night. So which was
Yeah,
about
so
getting
I
That's
don't
how you
know.
get it in kayfabe.
Julius
But I
Creed
wish they do
78.
add that in the game. They need to add that feature in the game where
To
if you
be
lose a match, it affects your rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lyra Valkyria 83. The possible worst rating I have seen. Once again, Logan Paul is a 90.
Fucking trash.
Then we're
Ray
getting
is 86. Raquel is 86.
Yeah.
Who else?
Raquel Rodriguez being the same rating as Rey Mysterio is fucking criminal.
And
Xavier
literally
Woods is 80.
that's criminal.
He should have been 79.
Then we're also getting GM mode, which we can take GM mode online. We can have
Yep.
up to 4 players and we can compete against each other. That makes it fun for us content
gonna
creators
be
who
really
love
fun.
GM mode and can play against each other and try to maybe do trades throughout the game, throughout the cycle. We can draft our rosters, which is going to be very fun as well. I love it. We can have our own custom GM, so we can select the GMs that we do have provided in the game.
Oh
which-
yeah, we have a lot of different GMs. Actually, let me pull it up. Let me see if I can
And
find.
CM Punk is a GM.
CM Punk is a GM. We have. All right.
Did you see my tweet where I was like, CM Punk is a GM? What the hell is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas?
So
That's tough.
let me see if I can pinpoint the exact what's it called, members of the choices for my GM. We have Adam Pearce, Sonya Deville, Stephanie McMahon, Xavier Woods, Tyler Breeze, Eric Bischoff, Mick Foley, William Regal, Paul Heyman, Teddy Long, Ava, Nick Aldis, Shawn Michaels,
Sensational Sherry.
And I think Adam Pearce is gonna be
Sensational
one too.
Sherry. I don't know who this other lady is that's right next to Sen- we have Mr. Fuji. I think
That's Umaga's
Armando
manager.
Estrada, yeah.
Yeah.
And CM Punk.
Mhm.
I'm trying
Then
to
we
make
have
out who that
her.
lady is. So,
Then
Hold
for,
on.
isn't that Miss Elizabeth? No,
Might be Miss.
I think-
No.
I think it is.
looks like Miss Elizabeth.
But for Universe mode this year, the return of promos. We can actually
So
cut
happy.
promos in the game after
Probably
it was
gonna be
being
generic.
broken.
There's probably gonna be like 4 or 5 options.
So they
Like,
came
very-
up with the new promos. Promo
It
engine.
is Miss Elizabeth.
It is Miss
is
where
Elizabeth. Okay.
where the system includes promo types, the outcomes with cutscenes and branching stuff as well. And also, I forgot to mention with the showcase, they said that if you lose, right, they have alternative endings to these matches where it
Right.
leads to branching storylines. So we don't necessarily have to win all of these matches. We can
Yeah.
get branching storylines out of it, which I am okay with.
We
I'm
even
tired of
saw a
having to
little
play it.
glimpse of that with if Seth Rollins would have beaten Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble 2022,
Right.
which
We
would
do
have
that,
been sick.
or if Roman just beat Seth clean.
Mhm.
Instead
Or
of-
if Lyra Valkyria were to win the 2024
Yep.
Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yeah.
We got that. We also have a unified My Rise where
Yes, sir.
no more separating men and women. My Rise, it is all into one. Apparently, we get a multi-gender My Rise storyline where Bailey, Kevin Owens, and other superstars are infiltrating NXT in an attempt to take control of the entire WWE universe, featuring new brawl environments. Speaking of new brawl environments, the NXT parking lot is
Don't go there.
in the game.
Never
Don't
go
go
to
to
the parking lot.
The
That's the worst place
NXT
you can
parking
go.
lot is there. The WWE Archives is there. We have unlockable arenas, characters, and more. plus new ally storylines involving Jey Uso, Bianca Belair, Seth freaking Rollins, and other WWE superstars.
I don't care for our universe mode. I don't care if it's just Raw and SmackDown. Whenever we do backstage brawls, I'm doing the NXT parking lot.
That would be kind of cool. I think I seen one visual where you can climb up, like you got to climb up like a case, and you climb up one other case as well, and you can end up on top of like a WrestleMania logo or like the SmackDown fist. That would be so cool.
And then that WWE archives, there's like a big thing where you can go up the SmackDown fist. Like you could be on top of the SmackDown fist. Like
right, for sure.
Then, well, that's kind of brief what we do know for 2K. I'm looking forward to it because they are actually making it very fun this year, from GM mode to universe mode to career.
Right now, I'm currently holding out for the universe mode information, but I think they've already sold me, and I think I'm actually going to pre-order the Bloodline edition.
I feel like GM mode is going to be like
Bloodline edition.
Even
my bank account. It's going to drain my bank account, but I don't care.
It's going to drain mine for sure. Like, I'm already sold. Intergender matches, I'm happy that we're getting that because I think that's going to create
GM mode, NXT parking lot. I'm like, shut up, take my money.
Yeah.
Facts. But back to wrestling again, because we're going to talk about Raw last night, and then we're going to segue into Chamber, and that pretty much will be it for this episode. But we start the show with Jey Uso yeeting, and a lot of people, including myself, I was about to say, is this pretty much telegraphed? Are they phoning it in again like they did last week? But no. Gunther said there will be no yeeting this week. He beat the crap out of Jey Uso. He threw a jacket at a fan, and Jey Uso said, "You know what? We're not going to have that. You want to throw the jackets at fans? You know what? I'm choosing you at WrestleMania."
So,
yay!
Small interruption. Yeah. Breaking news: for Vengeance Day, the NXT Women's Title match has gone from a triple threat to a fatal four-way. Cora Jade is added to the match.
Oh. Let's fucking go.
I mean, I feel like it needed to happen.
And that was after Cora beat Bayley.
She beat Bayley.
I mean, Roxanne kind of screwed Bayley, but Cora beat Bayley.
She still beat Bayley, man.
Cora pinned Bayley and is added to the match.
Now Cora needs to win that belt. I don't care. She needs to win that belt.
Honestly, yeah.
If you want to pull a swerve, do it.
Do it.
Because she's been so close to winning it so many times, they have to do it.
Well, Julia can have a short reign.
Yeah.
It won't affect her at all.
No. The only reason I'm a little worried about what's it called, of Julia getting a short reign is because I'm worried they might just straight up call Julia up right away.
And then you still have Jordynne Grace coming in, so you still have
because apparently they
don't have to call Julia.
Apparently
Roxana.
I'm a little also I don't know. Like right now I'm a little worried about the call up season because from what I heard, just again Twitter rumors, they're possibly going to call up Cora. And I'm like,
Cora's not ready for the main roster. Cora's not ready for the main roster.
I'm sorry. Do not call up Cora Jade.
She is going to get lost very quickly.
She's going to get released. If Cora is called up, she's going to get released.
She's not ready. You need to.
She's not ready.
Have her win a title. Preferably the NXT Women's title. Let her hold that title for like 6 months to a year.
She would be lost in the tag team division if they call Roxanne up with her. Yeah. Or Cora would just be lost in the shuffle.
I mean, right now they've basically now just essentially broken up the Cora, like kept Cora and Cora and Roxanne are not really together anymore.
That is true from what we've been seeing. That I think that's probably the biggest gripe is if you were to bring them up, I feel like together, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, it's going to be cool because people that have a new tag team, it would make sense. But if they break up, then it's like one's going to be booked for the future and it's going to have a good pathway. The other is going to be on the
Marty
path to getting
Jannetty.
released.
Yep.
And you don't want that. So it's like, okay, well, they got to do something here. And I'm, as much as I love both women, but you can't do that. Please don't do it. No. Cora is not, I love Cora Jade. Do not get me wrong. But she is not main roster ready right now. She's not.
Not by a
No.
long shot.
But yeah, we had Jey Uso confirm that he's going after Gunther at WrestleMania. I mean, we already
Cool.
knew it was.
We already knew that was going to happen.
Like, I would have much rather if it was going to be him and Cody, and then Cody turned heel during that match.
If it was going to be Cody, Cody was going to win. So
exactly,
Jay picking Gunther made the most sense. And I think they're either going Cody versus Cena or Cody versus Punk. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, which we'll get to as we talk about Chamber in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing that we got on the show, Io, or I think, was it Rhea that confronted Io first? And then I think Io confronted Rhea.
I think Io confronted Rhea first, and then afterwards Rhea confronted Io.
So Io said, "You cost me going to WrestleMania. You cost me having a match at WrestleMania. You cost me the Chamber." And then pretty much that segues into the tag team match that we had with Io and Dakota versus Liv and Raquel. And I'm going to be honest with you, that was the best match on Monday Night Raw last night.
Oh yeah, easily the best match.
Like, Io and Liv have great chemistry.
Right.
Liv is starting to really improve in ring very tremendously. I feel like she's starting to get better and better every single week. I feel like when it comes to Liv, she does not get the credit as much as the other women when it comes to in ring. Yeah. I feel like she's just like Jey Uso, where a lot of people say, "Oh, they're trash in ring," when that's not really the case. Liv has always been decent in the ring, but now she's starting to become even better in the ring. And and her taking a big old gash like that, if she still kept going,
busted up.
And we already know she's in the Chamber. We saw Bayley, and Lyra compete for a Chamber qualification match. Bayley was going to win. It's just like, it sucks for Lyra just because she's Intercontinental Champion. She hasn't had a match since becoming champion. And as soon as she gets her first match, she loses. That doesn't do anything. That's not a good look for Lyra, who's just won the championship and this is her first match.
Yeah, I don't know anymore. Like, the women's US division so much better, but
absolutely,
it's clear for the IC division, at least they don't have a good plan. Or it's not that they don't have anyone, it's just they can't think of a good way to make that division exciting or must see or something to get hyped for a women's IC championship match, because it seems like right now the direction is going to be Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile.
I think it's gonna be Lyra and Becky. I think it's gonna be Lyra and Becky at Mania.
At WrestleMania it will be Becky, but at least for right now. For Raw, like an episode of Raw, it's probably gonna be Lyra Valkyria versus
to be honest, to be honest, like, I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is they have the names on Raw. They have the people for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not booking like almost all of them.
Exactly. Like, now and Bayley just pinned Lyra.
You could easily.
Bayley just pinned Lyra.
They don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if post Elimination Chamber they do Bayley and Lyra for the IC title. Because she pinned her.
If she comes back soon enough.
Yeah.
Like, who's to know?
And then,
I don't know.
We see Seth and Finn get into it. Seth is going to probably end up winning. I love Finn Balor, but they are not going to have him.
I love Finn as well, but oh my god, book him better.
Please.
Yeah, I
This
don't
guy
know
is
what's
just taking
going
loss
on.
after loss after loss. I think we're
Like,
really
I remember seeing a report saying, "Oh, Finn Balor's due for a big singles
mean,
push in
in
2025."
We
We're
still
not seeing
okay.
nothing.
Okay, to be fair, we still have 10 months, but
I do
Um,
not believe it in the way that they
I
are
don't
booking
know.
him right
Maybe
now.
I
in
don't
the
know if
slightest.
they're waiting until after WrestleMania because they think, oh, we got to do this
Unless you're
breaking
gonna give
up
him
of
Money in the
Dom and
Bank.
Finn.
Unless you're gonna give
I mean,
Finn Money in the
maybe
Bank,
they,
which would be
yeah,
cool.
It would be
maybe.
very cool if they give him Money in the Bank.
I
And he
mean,
Or
cashes
King
in
of
like
the
a
Ring.
Cody, King
oh,
Balor, or
King
if it's
Balor.
like,
Oh my
if
God,
it's like
The Prince becoming the
Prince
king.
becoming
That's
king.
your story.
Yes,
Hey, and here's another
yes,
thing. What do they call
yes.
his alternate ego? The Demon
Demon.
King.
The
Oh
Demon
my
King.
God.
There you go.
It
You
fits.
got it right
There you
there.
go. It's literally
That would
written
be
in
Book
black and
it.
wild.
white.
Book it. Finn Balor, King of the Ring 2025. You heard it here.
I'd be down for it. Yeah, yeah,
And then
sure.
we get Logan and Ray, which
Well,
know
before that, we had CM Punk be like,
he
hey,
threw shots at Cena though.
he threw the shots at Cena. I didn't have to politic my way in the Elimination Chamber. I had to bust my ass for it. And trust me, I'm going to come after you and I'm going to beat you. And I'm going to go
And
to
I'm gonna go to
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
And
But
then
before
we
that,
heard Def
we got
Rebel.
and then before that, we
Oh.
saw the second exchange between Io and Rhea.
Oh,
Rhea
I
says,
pissed
"I
me
don't
off.
owe you anything. I'm doing this because I feel bad, right?" And I'm thinking like, okay, we're gonna get this to the chamber, bada bing, bada boom, we're good. But no,
Raw after Chamber.
the Raw
I was
after
so pissed.
Now if we're going off what we're getting, and this kind of will kind of put the chamber and coincide together with this right here. So we are going to be getting Roxanne and Raquel next week. I would think Roxanne will advance.
Yeah,
Roxanne should advance.
Roxanne should definitely advance.
And this week on SmackDown, we're getting Naomi and Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea should win just because you want to have a representative in there for Canada.
No,
but I think it's going to be Naomi. Like you said.
It's gonna be
you're gonna
Naomi.
You could potentially tease some more dissension between Naomi and
Bianca. We have Canadian representation. We are probably gonna get Kevin and Sammy. Hopefully,
and I think
Triple H. I'm looking at you.
And with the women, you could tease some more stuff potentially with Bianca and Naomi in there.
What else? Who else?
And if Jade Cargill is going to be back, maybe she comes in.
No one in the men's elimination chamber is Canadian right now.
Yeah, no.
But
I'm thinking of like other matches.
If we're realistically going to be doing Io versus Rhea, right? And I feel like if there's no shenanigans, Rhea's retaining, right?
Right.
That gives me the reason to believe we are going to potentially get some type of screwy finish in that match.
Yeah.
Because based on how they've been setting this up for months, right? They've been setting this up since what? Between Rhea and Io, since what? December? November,
December,
like that?
Yeah.
Because I don't think they are going to pivot and not have this match be at WrestleMania. It's going to happen.
One thing I am scared of is the fact that they are doing Rhea versus Io on the Raw after Chamber. That makes me scared to assume that we might get a run back of Rhea versus Liv at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the women's chamber, people have been saying Bianca, but I don't think it's going to be Bianca.
Yeah, not with Jade on hand. You can
champion.
Unless Jade is missing WrestleMania, then it can't be Bianca.
And plus, she's still tag team champion, and that's still that story. So she has two stories to worry about.
Yeah.
Bailey will be cool, but it's not going to be Bailey because I think Bailey and Roxanne cancel each other. I think Alexa will be cool, but what's the point of having Alexa win just for her to go to SmackDown, then come back to Raw? The only way that makes sense, Alexa would have to stay on Raw. And then I think the story with her is potentially join the Wyatt Six. And if you're doing anything at WrestleMania, maybe if you're doing a multi-woman match for the US, put her in there. So I do think from story perspective, Liv is going to win the Chamber.
Boo.
And Liv
Yeah,
is
I
going
don't
to
like that.
win the Chamber. She's going to cost Io the match, and it becomes a triple threat. Will the match be absolutely good? Absolutely. Io and Rhea, you're gonna get that.
I mean, I
But
wouldn't mind
the only thing with
Io, Rhea,
now-
I
Liv,
wouldn't
but-
mind Io being in that for a triple threat because
Yeah.
I am.
That would be
Everyone
better
knows this.
than-
Everyone and their grandmother knows this. I am sick and I am tired of Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, number 752. They beat that feud to death and they had a story there, but then it's just we're gonna do it again.
And here's the thing: the
I'll be
reason
right
why I feel like it's going to happen with Liv winning the Chamber for multiple reasons. One, Liv is pretty much one of the top women in the company. She's elevated herself to that level.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Two, the WWE has made it clear themselves when they had Raw Netflix, Liv and Rhea was the plan and was penciled in to happen at WrestleMania. And three, in late December, WWE even said it themselves. They wanted Liv to be in a world title match. And they even said that they wanted to potentially do a triple threat because this goes back to even last year. They wanted to do Liv, Becky, Rhea, but they didn't get that. So they're redoing it, but having Io, Liv, and Rhea. The match is going to be good. Do not
So
get me wrong.
So
This is
stupid.
good. The only thing I will say about this, it's going to be a good match. This is good for Liv because she's getting a big, high-profile match at WrestleMania. This
All
is
the
a good
Simps
thi-
can be happy.
That's a good thing for her and her resume that she can actually say, I have got to compete in a high-profile match at WrestleMania that was not the tag team match, that wasn't in the tag team division.
Mm.
But it still begs the question, who wins? And also, you got to think about this, Willie. Liv still has not gotten a rematch for that title.
Good.
We're seeing Nia Jax get her rematch, but Liv has not.
Well,
So
they
that's
had
another thing.
15,000 rematches already. Why does Liv need a rematch for the title?
So, I'm back.
And it just sucks. I mean, Rhea lost. She got multiple rematch after rematch after rematch after rematch after
Because
rematch.
Triple H views Rhea Ripley as his fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's
He's
why.
pretty much, Rhea Ripley is pretty much Triple H's daughter at this point.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's one thing that I'm gonna talk about regarding WrestleMania. It's really hard because I've said this before. They are like kind of teasing like 3-4 different things with one person. And it's like hard to really pinpoint what is the actual plan for WrestleMania. And I feel like we're not gonna know until we know. So I don't know. I do not want to see Rhea versus Liv
One-on-one, no.
one-on-one. No,
If
that
it's a
should
triple
not
threat, I'll
happen.
be okay with it.
If it's a triple threat, I can live with it.
Mm-mm.
I would probably, honestly, I would go crazy. I would swerve and just be like, strap the rocket on Roxanne. Just have her win the Chamber, do Rhea versus Roxanne at WrestleMania.
I'd rather
Yeah, but you risk yourself being in a position where it's like a lot of times when they push people up to the moon, like push people, sometimes it may backfire in the long run because people might look at it and be like, oh, they kind of push them too fast and they may not be ready for that. I'd rather for WWE take their time with Roxanne and build her up, organically. Like let her go through the mid card, get her reps in, maybe hold the title for a little bit. Her and Lyra Valkyrie can have a match, and maybe, or even if Becky beats Lyra, you can have Roxanne beat Becky, which will be a good match. This will help elevate Roxanne, and then by this time next year, we could see Roxanne.
So here's another thing regarding the Canadian representation that we're getting on this pay-per-view. Apparently, we are supposed to most likely get, which I was a little concerned, but I think it's just going to be a hosting thing.
Mm-hmm.
Trish Stratus is supposed to be back on TV for
her 25th anniversary, and it's supposed
leading.
to be Nia.
I'm sorry, what?
Apparently, literally what they're considering is doing Trish versus Nia because Trish has brought it up numerous times that she wants to have a match with
So they
Nia
want to
Jax.
kill us. They
want to kill her.
us. Not just no. They're not gonna kill her. They're gonna kill us out of boredom.
No fucking
Did-
thanks.
Did we forget the last feud Trish Stratus had? It was with Becky. She literally had worse promos than Ronda Rousey. She like Zoe
And now you're putting her in
Stark.
there with Nia.
No. Zoe Stark was carrying not just Trish Stratus, but also Becky Lynch during that feud.
She didn't carry the feud.
She carried
Zoe
the feud.
Stark had the best promos out of all of them.
All three.
And look
of
where she is
them.
now.
And
Look
people
where she
said
is.
Zoe Stark's mic skills were trash. Not during that feud.
Not during that
Dude,
feud.
Not during
No.
that feud.
Like,
Mm-mm.
and they like pinpointed the one promo where she went out to Becky and Becky kind of cooked her. I'm like, okay, yeah, that wasn't that great, but you need to listen to Trish. Trish was 10 times, 100 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that match
No.
made me not want to go to Toronto. Then I don't want
Like,
to.
No, she'll probably show up at Chamber, but apparently they're
At
considering.
Mania?
No.
Please
No,
don't,
no,
but it's
no,
in consideration
no,
right
no,
now.
No.
It is in talks.
No.
Bro,
No.
Like,
I'm sorry, that's my bathroom.
No. I
absolutely
refuse.
not.
Yep.
Mark, another tangent. I'm sorry because we just talked about a stinker right now. So I don't know, Leo, if you know of a certain somebody named Ibo of Wrestle Purists, formerly
you showed me
of
this last
Fightful.
night.
Yeah. So he said Logan Paul versus John Cena was a match that people were upset about a few weeks ago, but doing it now would quietly save the card and free up matches.
Bro,
No.
whoever said that they need to have their wrestling community record vote, you no longer have a voice
If
in the wrestling community.
Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes versus John Cena would single hand.
Like, bro, the
Like,
match
at least
between
Cody Rhodes versus
John
main
Cena
card.
and Logan, will that be a dream?
Because
Absolutely.
the idea is that we can give another opponent to AJ. We can make
He probably
Rollins
wants
and
AJ
Reigns.
versus Braun. He probably wants AJ versus
Maybe
Braun.
no, he just doesn't want Logan Paul. Apparently,
Mm.
he wants Rollins versus Reigns 1-on-1. He wants.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with
And-
that.
I am okay with that too. And what's it called? It would be Cody versus Punk at WrestleMania, which is a
Yeah,
WrestleMania
But
main
it
event.
begs the question is like, are we gonna really figure out what the favorite is? Is the favorite going to come into play, potentially being an him?
Like, I'm sorry, there are already so many people being like Logan Paul is not worthy of John Cena's final WrestleMania, and I'm certain Triple H is one of them. He is not going to give someone like
No.
John Cena.
I feel like if you want to
last
do a match, you want to
WrestleMania.
do if we're talking final WrestleMania opponents, you could do John Cena and Drew McIntyre. That right there. Now
Yeah.
that is a match I can get behind. That's
Apparently-
WrestleMania.
Apparently, they were like there is
Talks
Dude,
about Drew
this-
McIntyre's opponent.
Drew
WrestleMania.
McIntyre's WrestleMania opponent is being reconsidered because of the backlash. Because apparently it was supposed to be McIntyre and Priest.
Yeah.
They
match
should-
is
that's,
good,
that's not.
but
me.
if
Yeah,
we're
just
going
do
down this-
McIntyre and LA Knight. Just do
If
it
we're
for
gonna
McIntyre
go,
and
the
LA
only
Knight.
thing with that, there's a story behind it because if we're going on this redemption arc, so to speak, with Drew
Right.
getting,
Yeah.
redeeming himself from the demons of his past, right? He can get his
Right.
win back over Damian, who cashed
It
in Money in the
makes
Bank
sense,
last
but
year.
it's
and
not
took the world title.
WrestleMania worthy.
No,
That's
it's
where he's
WrestleMania
like-
SmackDown worthy.
Yeah.
But not on
Or
the
like
pay-per-view. Since we're
B
talking
level
about these
pay-
guys, let's
Yeah.
talk about the Elimination Chamber. So right now we're only have 4 competitors, which is Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, and CM Punk. We're going to see a triple threat this week with Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu, and Damian. I have reason to believe that Damian is going to probably win.
I guess I'm the only one who thinks Jacob's gonna win.
I want to see Jacob. Best
I want to
believe.
see Jacob, but I think they're going to protect him. Like, I don't think Jacob's going to be involved in the finish. I think Priest is going to pin Strowman, and then Priest is going to.
Because I think we're
So-
gonna. I think we're gonna continue Jacob Fatu and Strowman. Probably maybe have that be a match at Chamber.
Or maybe we get
Or
Jacob
maybe
and
at
Solo
Mania.
starting dissension.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna do Jacob and Solo.
We're gonna. I think we're gonna get Cody versus Solo at Chamber.
At Chamber.
And then next week we're getting Rollins and Balor, which I think Rollins is gonna
So-
win that.
Rollins is
Sorry, one final point regarding the Ibo thing. If you book Logan Paul versus John Cena, you have single-handedly ruined WrestleMania 41. 41 is a flop, basically unwatchable.
So you said if Cena doesn't win,
No. If you book Logan Paul versus John Cena, like you ruined
all.
41. Like 41 is a flop.
But it's at least for the men, right?
Yeah.
I would love to see CM Punk win, right? Because
Right.
it takes him out of the picture for him and Roman Reigns and Rollins.
Right.
But I feel like Roman is going to make his presence felt at this show. I really feel like that's.
I think Roman might cost
Seth.
Punk and Seth probably.
I think
if
he's going to
Seth
cost
is-
both.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could cost both.
He could cost both, mainly Seth.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe like he tries mostly costing Seth, and then
Punk is
indirectly
there,
costs.
and he's
Punk.
like, "What are you doing?" That throws
Yeah.
Punk off his game to be eliminated.
Because it,
Right.
it also
Whatnot.
brings up where it's like at the Rumble where Roman was like pissed about like Punk costing. It's like, we literally teamed in War Games. What the fuck are you doing?
But it's safe to say that Cena is going to win. Cena is going to win the Chamber.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the poster
He
boy
should,
for
yeah.
the Elimination Chamber. And usually what they do a lot of the times is they'll have a heel, a heel pretty much win one of them, and a face wins one. That's kind of just how they do. Last year, we had a
Yeah.
face for the women, which was Becky. She won on the women. Then we had Drew, who was a heel for the men. I think we're going to get a heel for the women, and we're going to get a face for the men. I think that's just how I see it. And I think, honestly, I think your winners are realistically going to be Cena for the men and Liv for the women. That's just how I see it.
I reluctantly agree.
I
I just can't
you're
see it
probably
being
right.
anybody else in the women. I just
Me
don't.
neither, unless
Because
the
here's the
next
thing:
two
if it was really going to be
qualify are-
Bianca, if we want to be honest, if it was really going to be Bianca and Rhea, then
You
why
have to turn Bianca heel. You have
Not
to
even
turn
that.
Bianca
You
heel.
should have literally been building this up from the get-go. We wouldn't have been getting on this build-up with EO, Liv, and Rhea for all these couple months. And on top of that,
And
if
Charlotte.
we would have had a longer build-up for this. We would have had a longer build-up between Rhea and Bianca. If that was the case,
Yeah.
Bianca probably would have won a Royal Rumble, and you have all these weeks to build up for this match. So I don't think that's going to be the case here. I think Bianca might get cost probably by a Naomi, or if Naomi still be the one to turn heel, or Jay Cargill. That's how she loses. That's how she gets eliminated.
I think that WrestleMania we're gonna see Jade versus Bianca. I think maybe backstage footage. It's gonna be a lot similar to how Triple H betrayed Shawn Michaels, where they play backstage footage of like that backstage attack leading into War Games where Jade got injured. I think Jade's gonna be like, "Oh, I know who attacked me. You did, Bianca." You know what I mean?
And then because now I'm gonna throw the question down to you. We're gonna talk about both women and men.
Yeah.
Because we already made it very clear that we feel like Cena and Liv are going to be your chamber winners.
Yes.
But with that being said, who do you think is going to be in the final two with the winners? For Cena, who do you think will be the final two? And for Liv, who do you think will be the final two in there as well? And if you're really trying to amp up both of these being your winners, in the best case scenario to where people can actually care about them, what number should they come in at? Should they come in and run the entire gauntlet? Should they come in towards the end or the middle?
I think for Cena, the finalist will be Punk to get that big shot, that big viral moment.
Yeah.
And then I think for the women, it will be either Roxanne or Bianca.
I think it's gonna be Liv and Bianca.
That's what I think, because I mean those two can tear the house down. Bianca's more of a superwoman, so having Liv beat Bianca in the final stages would be great. In terms of entry, I'll say Cena comes in number 4,
I'm
and
gonna say 3.
then I will say 4. I think it's to protect him a little bit more in the medium
He
range.
doesn't have to do too much and risk.
He doesn't have to
injury
do
throughout
too
the
much, and he doesn't get gassed out very quickly. For Liv,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say she comes in number 2. I think
match.
she
So,
runs
so
the
pretty
whole
much she
thing.
starts the match.
Yep, I think
Because
that will
didn't
happen.
she start it last year?
She
I think she came in at
did.
number
She
3. Because I remember
3,
Tiffany.
3.
Because
yeah.
I remember Becky
The-
and
yeah, it
Naomi
was
started, right?
Becky
No.
and it was
me
Becky
see.
and Bianca.
Let me see. I think let me look at
No,
this
it wasn't
year.
Bianca.
No,
I
I'm
think it was-
pretty sure it was. What's it called? Wasn't it like Naomi and?
Because we had. Let me look at.
or
Elimination
wasn't it
2024.
Naomi and Tiffany?
Yeah, Naomi and oh, actually, hold on.
With Tiffany, I remember came out at number 3. Liv, I believe, came out at number 4.
No, it was Naomi and Becky. It was Naomi and
yeah,
Becky who
Becky-
started.
Tiffany
yeah.
came out.
Yeah,
Tiffany
And
came
then-
out, right?
yeah. Tiffany
we got-
came out, then Liv, then Raquel, then Bianca.
Okay.
That's right.
Because I
and
remember
then-
first. I remember Tiffany eliminated Naomi. Liv eliminated Tiffany. Then I believe Bianca eliminated.
No, Liv
Raquel.
eliminated. Oh yeah, and then Liv eliminated Bianca, and then
By a roll up,
Becky,
and then she turned around to get hit with the manhandle slam for the 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Yeah,
So
and everyone was so pissed about that because
No,
Becky.
man, here's the only
love-
reason why. The only reason why I was pissed, I wasn't upset about the winner because I knew it was going to happen. It's just I would have been more inclined to a
I
actual
want. Yeah,
back and forth between Liv.
I
and
I
Becky
still
before the
think
win.
it. I was upset because of the winner because I'm sorry. I knew that what's it called, Rhea and Becky was not going to deliver. I knew because the fact that IWC was going crazy and being like, oh, big money match. There was no story between Becky and Rhea.
No,
I'm
was
guilty of
literally-
that. I was one of
It's-
those people who said big money match.
Like, I get it, I understand it, but like, if you had a story to go with it, then it would have been better. 3 stare downs in their whole career is not a story.
No, it's
And it's
actually
just
fair,
like-
though.
You literally had a 2-year story with Liv and Rhea, and I'm sorry if Liv went on to face Rhea at 40, and Liv beat Rhea, we would not be in this mess of what's it called? This whole Liv and Rhea debacle. Like, we would be done with Liv and Rhea.
we would have been on to something else. I would have felt like,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And it's like, I feel like you had Liv, had a great performance last year, which was true. But it's just like you pin Bianca only to turn around, hit with the manhandle slam, and
You
boom,
turn
you're,
around.
like, you're out.
It
You know
seemed
what I
like they wanted to rush it because we need to get the Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
But nobody cared about that.
Nobody
did.
cared.
And speaking of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they're competing for the NXT title this weekend.
And they're gonna lose.
Are we gonna get some dissension probably between both? Hopefully.
Maybe, but nothing will come of it.
No, because we've been building
Good
this for over a
booking.
year and we're still here
Yay.
waiting for it to happen.
Austin
but-
Theory just turned fucking face already. please.
So,
But I like you
Um,
said, Willie, I do think for the women it's going to probably be Bianca and Liv. I wouldn't be surprised if they're the first 2 and they're the final 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
so I'm gonna go a little different route. What's it called for my choices? Well, not for the men. The men is gonna be CM Punk and John Cena. But I think Cena will be. Yeah, I'll say Cena 4. And Punk will be 1.
Ooh, he's gonna go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
That'd be fire.
Do you want to know who would be number 2 in that situation?
Logan
Punk.
Paul.
Rollins.
Oh,
Yep. You start off with
I
Punk
would
and
love
Rollins.
that.
Yeah.
I would love it. Honestly, I would be okay if it's John Cena and Drew starting.
No.
Maybe.
I would love to see
but-
John Cena and Drew, but I would much rather see it being Rollins or Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regarding the women's chamber, I'm not going to say either of the options that you both said. I'm going to say the final two is Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss.
Ooh, yes, please.
You know what? If I was there, I would high five you for that because I actually like that.
That's actually a very good choice.
Because it plays off what we've seen at the Royal Rumble. And I forgot to mention it, Liv Morgan eliminated Alexa from the Rumble. And here's
And
another
I
thing.
would say
We know
you
with
start
Liv
off
Morgan,
the women's chamber
her-
with
she's a heel.
yeah,
and she's gonna cheat. And I think she's gonna cheat. I feel like she's not gonna win clean. With her
Yeah.
being a heel, being very,
Yeah.
calculated and stuff like that. I would not be surprised we see Raquel come down there at some point during the
Yeah.
match and help Liv win.
yeah.
or hand her a weapon or something.
Regarding who starts, regarding like where they come from, I'm gonna say probably Liv at like 5 and
'Cause let me
Alexa.
look at the entry numbers.
Actually, no, Liv. Screw it, Liv 6, Alexa like 4.
So you have Liv coming up last.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the entry. Let me look.
So I'm gonna be honest. Also regarding who I think would start the women's chamber, I do have 2 possible options, but I think the safe. I'm gonna go with the safe option, Bailey and Roxanne.
Yeah, I could see that.
Assuming
Easily.
Roxanne wins, but Bailey and
the only
Roxanne.
thing with that is I
starts
feel like that's kind of what I was going back to, and I think the reason why I don't see them winning is because I feel like they're gonna lead to them feuding. So I feel like with that being said,
That'd be a good preview, though, is them starting the Elimination Chamber, and then you have Alexa and Liv come in like later, and they're the
Yeah.
final two.
Unless for some random reason Raquel is in the chamber, which I hope not. But
Raquel just lays down and fucking
I would
That-
say the other option I was thinking is Bianca and Naomi.
Ooh.
Assuming
Yeah.
Naomi wins, but
that would kind of be kind of fun, honestly. I would not be
but
mad at that.
some breaking news.
Breaking news.
In NXT, Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura have won the number 1 contenders match, which means they will challenge Fraxium for the NXT tag titles at Vengeance Day.
And they're gonna lose.
Yeah, so the entry last year
Maybe
we did
they'll-
get Becky, Naomi starting off. Then we did get Tiffany. We could follow that up by Liv, followed up
Mhm.
by who else was in the chamber that I'm forgetting?
Raquel.
Raquel number 5, and then we did get Bianca 6. So I'm gonna say the first 2 are going to be Bianca, probably Bianca. Ooh, what if Bianca and Naomi are the first 2?
That was what he just said.
I would love to see that. I think that's gonna really.
It
that's
it would
gonna
be
really
all
get-
right, but if you're gonna do Jade and Bianca, why would we need to tease another dissension with another
Yeah.
tag team partner? Like it's just too much in like one storyline. That's why, honestly, I think Chelsea's gonna be in there. I think
Yeah,
Chelsea's gonna be in the chamber.
I think Chelsea's gonna be in there. That's what I was saying.
yeah,
Because it does something for Chelsea for one, but I don't
sets
think
up a
it's gonna be-
potential Mania feud for
because
Chelsea.
I think you could at least use the US title because maybe Alexa pins Chelsea, and that sets up maybe Alexa's path to WrestleMania because maybe she's gonna enter herself in the US title mix because this is a title that she has not competed for when she stepped
Exactly.
away this wasn't they didn't have mid-card titles, but now that she's back, she has 2 other titles that she has not won, and she can potentially win. So that's how I see it's gonna happen. I think we get Liv, Bianca, probably first 2, or maybe, like you said, maybe we get Liv and Alexa as the final 2. I think either one of those I would not be mad at. But
Yeah.
I am going to I'm gonna stick with my prediction. Liv wins the women's. John Cena wins the men's.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
It just doesn't make sense. I think from a story perspective,
Yeah.
it makes all the sense in the world for it to be.
The only reason I could maybe see like someone like Bianca winning is if Jade is straight up missing WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like if Bianca were to win, that just tells me Jade is not making it to WrestleMania.
Oh no, she's not.
Yeah.
She's not. But I think she is gonna make it to WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I think she
same.
is. I really do. Because then it's just like if you have Bianca win, it's that whole story they've been
Yeah.
between. Oh. You don't.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, you guys, that is the conclusion of our episode for the Bring It to the Ring podcast. We are going to try to make it a weekly series where we do podcast episodes every week. So y'all stay tuned for that. Super kick that like button, Superman punch that post notification bell, and spear the subscribe button. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Willie, Wolf, do you guys have anything else you want to share before we head out today?
I did want to say one thing regarding Raw. At least my take on this past Raw. Probably the best Raw since they went to Netflix, in my opinion. Like, I struggled to find something wrong. Like, the worst part of Raw was just that DQ finish of the tag title match.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
The women carried this ring.
But even then, I didn't like. I understood why it happened. I was like, okay, it's not that bad. So
the
yeah,
women
it was
carried this week. The women
did.
100%
carried this week.
100%.
That tag match,
tag
it was
match
so good.
between
was
Liv and
really
Raquel versus Damage Control was really good. So yeah, that was just the main thing that I wanted to, I guess, share.
Fair.
But do you have any? You guys have anything else to share? Willie, you have anything to share before we head out?
Oh, I started a Super Mario 64 playthrough series on Will's Wrestling Corner. That's right, I went through a rebrand. And the Universe mode is still going strong. Be sure to support that. And also, if you want my own individual thoughts on the WWE and AEW releases, I already made videos about that. And my thoughts on Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, which a lot of people really loved my opinion on that. You can go and check that out. And everything like that on Will's Wrestling Corner. You just search for that. Should be the first thing that pops up. I don't know how YouTube is with rebranded channels, so do with that what you will.
But yeah, we are on the road to 500, like I said, on the road to Elimination Chamber. So the week of the Chamber, we will be doing our actual official predictions. We were just giving our thoughts on the Chamber as it stands right now. But when we get the full lineup, we will be doing our predictions that week. We'll probably do maybe a tier list next week. So y'all stay tuned for that. Maybe ranking title designs. I think we've done it already, but
we've done that already.
Okay. But maybe I think the episode we'll do next week is we'll predict who will be your next champions across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. This will be an updated version because the championships, for the most part, somewhat have changed. So we will be doing that next week. We will be doing that. So y'all stay tuned for that. But from myself, Leo, from Wolf, from Willie, we're giving you guys a 2 sweet, hearty handshake. And we will see you guys in our next stream. And we will see you guys very, very soon. 2 sweet. And we are